Now, the next things we're gonna do here, guys, you can see in here we have a chapter. We have here 2 chapters. This is the first one and the second one. And for this chapter, we don't know if we already upload a video for the chapter. Now, I'm going to do the following things, guys. I have here an image into my public folder, and the name is no video icon, the JPEG. And we have here another one, which is the video icon. Okay, and if we have a video for a given chapter, we are going to display this one, and if we don't have a video, we're going to display this one. Okay, now I'm going to get into the course chapter, and in here I'm gonna remove that span tag and pass this one, and you can see we pass here the image tag, and we pass here video chapter. We check if the video URL is undefined, is where we store the upload video ID. Is undefined, we are going to display the video icon. Okay, else if we don't have an image, we're gonna display the no video icon. Okay, and we're gonna have something like this. Okay, now I'm going to add this to URL into the .env file. Go to the bottom here and pass this to environment. Here we have the chapter with, let me pass the chapter with video. We have here typo. I'm gonna get rid of that, and here we're gonna pass here chapter with video image, chapter without video image. Okay, now I'm gonna copy that. We are going to pass that into the Nuxt.config.ts file, and in here we're gonna pass that into the public object, and here we're gonna pass here process.env file to get access to it. And now I'm going to copy this to environment variable. We're going to we're gonna go back into the course chapter again, and I'm gonna pass them right here. Okay, and we're going to import here the config, and we are going to pass here config is equal to use runtime config, and we use the composable in order to get access to environment variable. Okay, and here we are going to pass here this. I'm gonna copy that, and then I'm pass here this chapter with video. Okay, config dot public dot and then we're gonna pass here chapter with video, and we're gonna copy the second one. We're gonna pass here config dot public here like this. We're gonna pass here config dot public dot, and then we're gonna pass a chapter without video image. Okay, now we're going to pass here, we're gonna display here the owner of this course. You can see we have the course model. I'm passing we are going to head into Prisma, in here in the Prisma schema, and you can see this the course model, and we have here the user ID, and we're gonna display here the owner of this course. Okay, now to get the name there, we are going to let's get into the saver folder, and you can see we have here the off. I'm gonna get into the update.ts, and in here I'm gonna copy this line. Okay, and you can see we copy here the Clerk client. We copy this function in order to get access to the name of the user, because we're gonna pass the user ID. And now we are going to head into the single course.ts endpoints, and at the bottom here I'm gonna paste that line here. I'm gonna copy that, and I'm passing that at the top, and here we use the use runtime config to get access to that to the Clerk secret key, and we pass it to the create Clerk client. And then in here we are going to pass here user. I'm passing const user is equal to this, and we're gonna pass here Clerk client that users, and here we are going to pass here that get user. Okay, and if you put our cursor over the get user function, you can see it returns a promise, and we have here the user, and we're gonna pass it the user ID as parameter. Now we are going to pass here the course that user ID like this, and then we're gonna pass here the user, and then here we're gonna head into the Slack.view file, and in here I'm gonna go at the top, and you can see we have course. We have here course store, and let me check here. We are going to use this. We have here this property. Let me check here. We have the single course data. Okay, we are going to head into the use. We're gonna get into a composable here. Let me see the name here. Use fetch course. Okay, and yeah, we have here composable fetch single course. Yeah, this is a function, fetch single course, and we pass it the slug in order to get details of a single course. Now, what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to get access to the ID. Okay, and here you can see if we pass here this, we pass here the slug, we are going to have here a user object, and you can see it has many properties. Okay, and here we're gonna display here the username, pass here single course data that user that username. Okay, and here I can just pass here owner. Okay, this is the owner of that course. Okay, now let's see what we got in here. Yeah, you can see the owner is Ben12. Okay, and this is my username. Let's see here. Click here, you can see this is my username. You can see Ben. Okay, and the creator of this course. Okay, all right guys, now we're gonna work on the home page of our app, and we just finished working on the page here, the course details page, and now we're going to move into the data in the index.view file. Okay, it's located at the root of the pages folder, and I'm gonna put in these contents. And you can see we don't have many things in here, and you can see the design is simple, pretty simple guys. And here we have here the LMS app, the LMS Academy, which is the name of our app. And in the right corner, we are going to display here the avatar of the logged users. Okay, and here at the left we have categories, a sidebar where we're going to display all created categories so that we can have a possibility to filter across by category. And in here in the main section is where we're going to display all our created courses. Okay, now we are going to pass here right now the avatar, and to get the avatar I'm going to get into admin. Okay, and inside the admin we have here the user button. Okay, let me copy that. Here we have here the menu. Okay, we're gonna scroll and we have here the user button. Okay, the user button, and we have here the name. Okay, I'm gonna just copy the user button. This is the Clerk components, and you can just pass it right here where we got the user avatar. Okay, this is the image here. I'm gonna pass here the user button. Okay, and if you have a look here, you can see we have here this component user button. Okay, and here we're gonna display here all created categories. Now we have here a function. Yeah, we have the category store. Now I'm gonna head into categories page, and I'm gonna head in here. Yeah, let me remove this line here, and I'm going to copy that. You can see I'm gonna copy that here, and we are going to pass into the index.view file in here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a component. You can see this is the category filter, and yeah, I'm gonna copy that. Okay, yeah, let me copy that div here aside. Okay, I'm gonna copy the aside components, and this is the filter. Okay, we are going to head into the component folder. You can see we have here category. We're gonna pass the category filter, and I'm going to head into the category table. In here, I'm gonna copy that line here. We're gonna put in everything that we got into the category table and pass it in here. And we have here categories, this is rev categories. Now I'm gonna simply remove that. And we have here this. Okay, I'm gonna remove that line here too. And category store. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with that. And into the category table, we have here this. Yeah, we pass here. I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna copy that, and we are going to pass it in here. Let's go into the category filter, and we have here a label, and we are going to pass here v4. Okay, copy that and pass here v4, and we're gonna pass a category in categories, and then we're gonna pass here the ID, and we're going to pass here the category name and pass a category that name. Like this. Pretty straightforward guys, and that's what we got in here. Pretty simple. Okay, yeah, we just finished. Okay, everything is okay in here. I'm gonna get rid of this line here, category store, or we can just, in order to, yeah, I'm gonna remove that. We don't need that here. And then we're going to go back into the index.view file. We're gonna pass here the category filter, and we're gonna pass it the categories. This is the prop, and here we are going to do this. Let me get into the categories page and see what we pass here. You can see in here we pass here the save data that categories. Okay, I'm gonna copy the line and we're gonna pass it in here too, and it's gonna work pretty well. Okay, I'm gonna remove that. Okay, and save data that categories, and we extract it here. Yeah, let me extract it. I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass it in here like this, and it's gonna work. Okay, now if we head into the browser, we're gonna see we're gonna have here all our categories: jQuery, JavaScript, React. Now we're gonna display here courses. Now for the courses, we're gonna do the same thing, and we have here car. Yeah, this is the car. I'm gonna copy that here, and I'm gonna name it course car. Okay, I'm gonna copy that. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to head into the course folder, and we have here course and some passive course. Yeah, course car. I'm passing course list. Yeah, I'm passing course car. This is better name the view, and some pass that here. We are going to head into the course table. And inside the course table, we're gonna copy everything in here. I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass into the course car at the top here. Okay, it's gonna be the same. I'm gonna copy the template tag, and then I'm gonna close it right here. Okay, and then here we're gonna get rid of the bounce function here. And now let me see what we pass into the course table real quickly. Yeah, we have here the course table, and we pass here a v4, we pass here courses. Okay, I can just copy that. Okay, and then we are going to head into the course car. We're gonna pass it to this div here. Okay, and here we're going to pass here that we're gonna pass the keybraces, and then I'll pass the course.name. Yeah, let me see if it's the course.name. Yeah, course.title. Okay, and I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna pass the course.title and course.price. Okay, like this. Okay, like this course.price. Okay, yeah, we just finished, and here I'm gonna remove that here courses, and we have here courses. I'm gonna remove that too here, and let's head into the courses page and see what we pass to the course table components. And here we pass here courses. Yeah, I'm gonna copy that. Okay, and let's go back into the index. We are going to pass here the components. Yeah, we are going to, let me copy that here, and we're gonna pass here the courses. Okay, and here we're gonna pass here course card. Okay, and now let's go back into the courses again, courses page, and I'm going to copy the line here, use course store. We're gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass it in here. Okay, pass it in here, and here I'm gonna remove that here. I'm gonna remove the line. Okay, and let's check here again. We're gonna go back again in here. Okay, let's see, we pass here save data again. Yeah, we pass here save data, that's courses, and we call here fetch courses. I'm gonna copy that, and we are going to pass it right here. Okay, same thing as we did into the courses page. And now, as we, in order to get access to the courses array, we need to pass here to this save data. Okay, yeah, we're gonna pass here save data, and I'll pass here course data. Okay, I'm gonna rename it like this, and I'm gonna copy it. We're gonna pass it where we got save data. Now we have here the image. We're gonna display here the image. And here I'm passing here this, and here, let me check here for the name. We're gonna get into the Prisma. We're gonna head into the Prisma schema. And in here, you can see we have here the image URL property. That's what we're gonna pass there. Let's go back into the course car again. And we're gonna pass here that, and then pass here course that, we're gonna pass here image URL. And if you don't have here the image, we're gonna display here the placeholder image. Okay, now I'm going to head into the Slack, the view file. We have here something for the image. You can see if we got here the image, you're gonna pass it. If it's undefined, we're gonna display the fallback image URL. I'm gonna copy that, and that's all we're gonna I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass it into the course car. We're gonna go back in here and pass that, and I'm gonna copy this line 2 here, okay, and then we're gonna finish and pass the course car again, and pass that, okay, and we just finish. Now let's check here. You can see just display here the course, how to manage states in Vue free app. Okay, that's good. And here I'm gonna add a little space for the price here, and then we're gonna add here space for the price and the dollar sign here, and you can see actually we're gonna have here space. Yeah, this is the space. And now we're gonna work on the pagination. You can see inside the course table we have here the pagination. We're gonna add it into we're gonna pass the pagination into the course car. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to head into the course table. Yeah, we have here the course table. We are going to copy these two in here, and we're going to head into the base folder. Is where we're gonna we pull base components, and here I'm passing pagination. Okay, pagination like this, that view, and past that we are going to go into the base bar, and I'm copy that, and we're gonna pass it into the pagination. Okay, and in here what I'm going to do, I'm going to define in here a prop which the name is saver data. You can see we have here the saver data. Okay, and we're gonna define here an event const emit is equal to define emit like this. We're gonna pass here paginate. Okay, and here I'm going to, yeah, you can see pass the saver data, and on click we are going to call that function and pass this line here, and I'm passing emit, and here we're gonna pass here paginate, and we're gonna pass here the page. Okay, and the page is a parameter. Okay, yeah, we're gonna pass this. Okay, yeah, we're gonna pass here saver data. Yeah, I can just pass here saver data too. Yeah, I'm gonna do this and pass here even saver data. Okay, saver data, and then yeah, saver data, and then here we're gonna pass here that metadata that page -1. Okay, now we're gonna copy that, and we are going to pass here this. We're gonna pass here the line here. Okay, I'm gonna remove that. We're gonna pass this line. Okay, and I think everything is okay in here, but we need to fix the typo. We should pass here metadata. Yeah, like this. And now let's head into the course table, and inside the course table we're gonna pass here a slot. Okay, and here we're gonna pass here a slot like this, and we are going to pass here the name, okay, of the slot. We're gonna pass here pagination. Okay, and we're going to head into the courses page and pass courses, and in here I'm going to pass, I'm gonna remove this, and we're gonna pass here the table, the course table component like this, and then we're going to pass here a template tag for the slot. Okay, and then we're gonna pass a £, and here we're gonna pass here pagination. Okay, this is the name of the slot. Okay, and inside of this template tag we're gonna pass in the pagination component, and the pagination we're gonna pass in the saver data is equal to saver data. Okay, and we're gonna pass here paginate, which is the event that we define in the pagination component, and we're going to pass a course store that paginate courses. Okay, courses, we are going to head into the use fetch courses composable, and inside of it we are going to define the function. Okay, and here I'm pass here a sync function, and then we're gonna pass here paginate courses. We're gonna pass here the current page. Okay, we're gonna tap it. We're gonna say tap is number, and I'm passing page that value is equal to current page. Okay, and here we're gonna pass here a weight. we're going to call fetch courses function. Okay, we're gonna pass it here, and now we're going to copy that. So we're gonna pass it at the bottom to return statement, and then we are going to have the possibility to get access to it. And in here you can see actually we have only one row into the course table, and I'm going to pass here for the limit here. I'm passing 1 because I'm gonna create another course into the course table, and in order to test if the pagination works well. Okay, now and in here we're gonna click here. You can see actually we have here one row into the course table. Okay, now we are going to click here create, and I'm pass here another course, how to manage state. Yeah, we can pass here how to use Redux effectively. Okay, this is another course, and here I'm gonna choose here React, and we're gonna click here create. Okay, yeah, we should call that function once we just created a course, but we haven't yet done that. And here you can see page 1 of 2. Okay, now if I click here next, you can see I just moved to the second page. How to use, yeah, we pass here how to use Redux effectively. Okay, I'm gonna click here edit, and we're gonna modify the title here for this course. I'm gonna click here edit, yeah, and here I'm pass here how to use Redux effectively, and can pass even the price 17, and I'm click here update. Okay, yeah, also we should call that function, but right now let me check here if you're gonna modify that, how to use Redux effectively. Okay, and the pagination works pretty well. Now what I'm going to do, we are going to go back into the courses page, and in here I'm going to copy that. Yeah, let's head into first, I'm gonna copy that, and we are going to head into the index.view file. Okay, and you can see we have here the course car. Okay, and I'm gonna pass it to the pagination. Okay, let me pass it here and pass it here under here. Let me comment the template tag, and we pass the server data, because you can see in here we have access to that server data, but here we pass the course data. I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna pass it here. Okay, course data, paginate, course store that paginate courses. And here we are going to make pagination. Okay, now we are going to head into, let's move here, and you can see we have here the pagination. If I click here next, okay, we can move to the next page. If I click prev, we can move to the previous page. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass here the margin bottom pass here even 4. Let's see what we're gonna have here. Yeah, margin bottom, we have here space. That's beautiful, awesome. And now we're going to go back into the use fetch courses. We're gonna pass here for the limit, we're gonna pass it 10 now. Okay, as we know that the pagination works pretty well. Okay, now let me refresh the page, and we're gonna have here 2 courses. Okay, yeah, we have here how to manage states in view free app and how to use Redux effectively. Okay, nice. Now I'm going to add here the search. You can see, let's go back first in here, and let me remove that here. Okay, yeah, I can just copy that here. I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna put it into the course car. Course car, pass that here. Let's go back into the index file, and I'm going to copy the div and the pagination and pass it in here. Okay, yeah, and pass it here. Okay, and in here we have here courses. Let me check here what we pass here. We should pass here save data. Yeah, I'm gonna copy that, and here and pass here. Yeah, let me check what we pass in here. In here you can see pass here course data that courses. Okay, and here I'm gonna just pass here this. Yeah, we can pass here course data, for we can modify the prop here. And here we're gonna copy that, we are going to pass it in here, and we're gonna pass here course data that courses. Okay, and we are going to pass here course data, and you can see we have here a function course store that paginate courses, and we need to call that function here. And in here we don't import the cursor. We're going to do that, and we can just copy this line here, and we're gonna pass it into the cursor, okay, like this, and we just finish. Okay, cursor, or we can just pass here the cursor as a prop. Okay, yeah, it's better to do that. Okay, do that, and we can pass here props, that cursor, that pagina courses. And if we go back into the index file, we are going to pass here that here. We're gonna pass here course store is equal to course store, like this. Okay, and now let me format this document. Okay, everything is clean here, and into the course car here. Okay, yeah, everything is okay. Now let's check here if we still have here our data. Okay, we still have here our data. Okay, and now I'm going to add here the search. Okay, we are going to add here search. Now we're going to go into the course table, and we have here a search here. I'm going to copy this div, and we're going to use the base input to implement the search. I'm gonna copy that. We are going to pass into the car and pass here course car. We're gonna pass it in here. Okay, and we're gonna need here the search course function and the search property. We are going to go back into the course table again, and we're gonna need that here, that, and the search here. Yeah, we got it here. I'm going to do that and copy that and pass at the top so that I can select everything at once. Okay, copy that. Okay, we have here this. Okay, I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass it into the course. We're gonna pass into the course car in here. We're gonna pass it right here, guys. Okay, and in here you can see we have access here to the cursor. Okay, like this. Okay, and also we pass here the cursor as a prop. But as we just import here the cursor, we can remove this here. Yeah, I'm gonna remove that because we don't need that. And here we're gonna pass here this immediately, and into the index we are going to we're gonna remove that. Okay, clean. And let's go back in here, and we're gonna have here this search here. Okay, refresh table. This is not a function. Okay, right now I'm gonna remove that here. Fetch loading, and here we have here save data. Okay, I'm gonna remove that. Okay, and everything is okay in here. Now if you refresh the page here, let's see. Yeah, we have here the search, and here I'm going to pass here a class. You can see flex row, and let me pass that at the top here and pass it at the top, and then let's see what we're gonna get here. Yeah, we have the input above the car, and now I'm going to reduce the width. For the width here, I'm going to pass here a class, of width, and for the width we're going to pass here even 20%. Let's see what we're gonna get here. Yeah, we don't reduce here the width, and I can just reduce the width here. Okay, yeah, I'm passing here for the flex. We're gonna pass the width of 20% and see what we're gonna get here. 20%. Yeah, 20% is better. And I'm going to add a margin at the bottom. And in order to add the margin at the bottom, we're gonna pass here margin bottom, and we're gonna pass here free. And let's see what we're gonna get here. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, we have it search, and I'm gonna increase the width again a little bit here and pass even 23. Okay, nice. Okay, and we have here the search. Now if we type in something into the base input, we are going to make an HTTP request to receiver, and we're going to see if we are going to filter data here. Okay, now here we have here how to manage states in Vue3 app and how to use Redux effectively. Okay, and here I'm passing Redux to see what we're gonna get. yeah, it works pretty well, guys. If I remove that, we're gonna have here the first course and the second one. Okay, everything is working pretty well here, guys. Okay. Alright guys, now we're gonna work on the category filter, and in here you can see we have three category, and if I select this category, we need to return courses belongs to this category. Okay, and here we're going to head into the courses endpoints. Into the getter.ts, this endpoint returns a list of courses. Now we're gonna create here a constant is an array category filter. Okay, yeah, I can just pass here an array. I'm gonna name it filters is equal to empty. Okay. And here, I'm going to do this. We are going to check here if the user sent the categories array. And I'm going to pass a const categories, okay? And we're going to check if is an array is an array here. Pass is array like this. And we're going to pass a query that categories. And then we're going to return the array, okay? Categories like this. And if it's not an array, let's say we got undefined, we are going to do query that categories, okay? And then here, I'm going to return an empty string here. And yeah, if we got something like this an array, we have here a UUID, okay? And let's say we got right now, let's say we got undefined. If we got undefined, we are going to undefined, okay? We are going to return a name. We're going to return here string, okay? And if we get a string, we are going to convert it into an array. And I'm going to pass that split, okay? And we're going to get an array, okay? Yeah, like this. And I'm going to assert it as string, okay? Yeah, I'm going to wrap that into parentheses. And then we're going to assert it as a string, okay? Like this. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to check here if into the categories, if the categories is defined, and into the categories that length is greater than 0, okay? And if it's greater than 0, we are going to do this filters, okay? And passive filters that push, and we are going to push in this. We're gonna pass here category ID. And here we're gonna pass here in, okay? And here we're gonna pass here this array, okay? I'm gonna copy that. We are going to paste here and pass it and then we're gonna pass here these IDs, okay, like this. And also I'm gonna check here for the search here. We're gonna check here if search, okay? And here I'm passing and search and type of search, okay, is different from empty, okay? If we got error, and we're going to add it into the filter and pass the filters that push, and then we're going to pass here this star. I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna copy that here. We're going to pass it in here, okay? Now we are going to pass here the or clause. We're gonna pass here or, okay, like this, and then we're going to pass here filters, okay? Because the filters is an array. Or we can just do something like this. We're gonna pass here we're gonna copy these properties into this array, okay? And actually we got an error. This is typing error again. And here this says this. Let me check here again. We are going to put our case here, and you can see they infers it to be a type of course where inputs, okay? If we copy, I'm gonna copy this. Okay, and we can just assert these errors, and we pass this. Yeah, we need to import it, okay? Let me try to import it, okay? Yeah, we don't have the possibility to import it because this type is generated by Prisma, okay? And as I don't know where it's located, you can see in here, if we head into the node modules, we should get it, okay? Yeah, in the node modules, we have here generated folder, which is generated by Prisma client, okay? And is where this type is located. And I'm going to pass here as any to remove this typing error, okay? Like this, and then we're gonna get rid of this error, okay? Now, and here, I'm gonna give you further explanation, and this means in SQL we have a select star from courses where we're gonna pass here where title is equal to something, or where the category ID in, and here we can pass here some categories. This is the SQL query, okay? Now we are going to head into the use fetch composable, and in here I'm gonna create here another constant, const categories filter. Yeah, I'm passing category filter, okay, like this is equal to an empty array, okay, like this. Yeah, category filter, and we are going to pass it in here too. We're gonna pass here so that we can get access to it, okay? And we're going to pass here something. You can see we have here fetch courses. And here I'm gonna pass here a filter. I'm pass here categories, and I'm gonna assert it as, I'm gonna type it as a string, an array of string, because we're gonna pass in UUID. And I'm passing categories, okay, yeah, like this. And in here I'm going to make a little check here. I'm gonna pass here this, pass here, yeah, I can say this array, this property, this parameter can be undefined. And here I'm passing here condition if type of categories, okay, is different from undefined, okay, undefined, and we are going to push it into an array, okay. Yeah, we got here an error. I'm going to move that at the top here, okay. And if type of categories is different from undefined, let me create here, we're gonna create here a params, okay. I'm passing this params here. I can pass here filters, okay. And then we are going to push in this array, okay. And here I'm passing filters, okay. We are going to pass in categories. Categories is equal, let me just assert it as passes a record type, and this is how we type an object and pass a string, and the value can be any, like this, okay. And here we are going to add in the categories, and here we're gonna pass the categories that's, yeah, okay, is equal to categories, okay. The categories right here is an array, okay, like this. And then I'm going to do this. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna add it right here. But also for the search here, we can just check here if we got data, okay. Yeah, we're going to pass here if search that value is different from empty, okay. We are going to add into the filters array. We can pass here filters again and pass it search like this is equal to search that value like this. And then I'm gonna remove that, and we're going to copy here the filters, okay, like this. Everything is okay in here. Now we're going to head into the category filter components, and in there we are going to import in the core store, okay. You can see we have here the category filter. I'm gonna copy that, and we're going to head into the category filter, okay, category filter. And in here, guys, we are going to import in this array. We're gonna import in the core store, pass the course store like this is equal to use course store, and in here we're gonna extract the property which is the category filter, and pass the store to ref to preserve reactivity, and we're gonna pass the course store like this. And we're going to create here another function to add a category ID into the category filter array, and I'm passing add and pass select we're gonna pass select category, okay, like this. And here we're gonna pass here the category ID, okay. And I'm going to do this and pass here const. We're going to check if the category exists into the category filter array, and here we're gonna pass here exist, okay, and is equal to category filter that value that filter, okay. And I'm passing rm. You can pass here category, okay, is category and is equal to category like this. Pass a category ID like this, okay. And we can just pass here category is equal to category ID, okay. And then we're gonna check if the category doesn't exist into the array. If it doesn't exist, we're gonna add it, okay. That length here is equal to 0, okay. If the length is equal to 0, we're gonna add it. Filter that value that push, we're gonna push in this ID and copy that and pass it in here, okay. And if the category exists we are going to remove it from the array. Okay, now in the else statement, we are going to remove the category if it exists. We're going to pass a difference, and we can pass categories. I'm going to name it categories. Okay, like this, and then we are going to initialize the category filter array, and we are going to assign it the categories array. Now we're going to copy the select category. We are going to pass it to the label here on click events. We are going to call that, and so we're gonna pass it the category ID like this. I'm gonna copy that again. We are going to pass it to the span tag, okay, right here. And also we are going to call the fetch category the fetch courses function. Okay, we are going to head into the index, and so you can see in here we have fetch courses. Okay, we're gonna copy that. We are going to pass it in here too, and pass it in here. Okay, and I'm passing a sync. You can see this is a parameter, so we should pass a sync, and then we're gonna pass here an array of categories. Okay, and here I'm going to copy that here exists. Yeah, we are going to copy here this. We're gonna copy the category filter. We're gonna pass it in here. Okay, and I'm going to copy that. We're gonna pass it in here too. Okay, like this. And now I'm going to copy to the category filter. I'm gonna pass it in here because I want to check if we're really passing IDs. Okay, now let's check here. We are going to check here. I'm going to head into the console, and I'm gonna pick here category like jQuery. Okay, I'm gonna pick here jQuery, and yeah, we don't show data here. I'm gonna remove here that value, and we're gonna click here jQuery. Yeah, we don't got data. Yeah, you can see. Actually, you can see if I select here category, we add it into the array. If I click again here, we add this one here. And if I click here again, we're going to remove the category if it exists inside the array. Okay, you can see that actually works. Okay, yeah, and you can see that actually if we remove here, I don't select any category, we don't get data. You can see if I select here jQuery, yeah, we don't got data. JavaScript, we got data. And here, I'm going to move here. We are going to head into the endpoint in here, guys. And I'm going to fix something in here. Maybe we are getting here, let's say something like this. I'm going to show you. We are going to move here. Let me show you what we are getting, okay? And you can see in here, let's define here an array, okay? I'm defining an array. Okay, we're gonna do this. And pass here const c is equal to an array. We're going to pass here empty and pass here another space like this, okay? And you can see that actually we got something into our array. Now we need to remove that, okay? We are going to trim the space, okay? Now I'm going to map through the array, okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something like this, that map, and then I'm passing C, yeah, I'm passing string, yeah, I can pass the item, and then we are going to, and then I'm gonna map through the array. We are going to pass the item, that trim to remove the space, and then here we're gonna pass here that filter, and then I'm passing boolean, okay? Boolean like this, and then we are going to get an empty array. Okay, now I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna apply it to the array right here. You can see C is an array, and instead of it we have an empty string. Okay, pass C that. Okay, we are going to apply this. You're gonna see what we're gonna get here. We're gonna get an empty array. Okay, and we can, and here too you can see search, and for the set too we can get something like this. Okay, and I'm going to remove the space here and pass it trim like this. And in here, our query should look like this: where taro lack. Okay, where taro lacks, something like this. It's gonna look something like this. Okay, and then here I'm going to pass. I'm gonna check if inside the filters array we got something, and pass the filters that's length here. Okay, is greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, we're going to return this object, else we're going to return an empty object, okay? Like this, and I'm going to copy that. We're going to pass it in here too. Yeah, we're going to pass it in here, like this. Okay, I think everything is okay in here. Now, let's head into the browser, and in here, we are going, I'm going to try to make a filter. I'm select here jQuery, And yeah, we got jQuery. Yeah, you can see actually we don't have a course that belongs to the jQuery category, that belongs to that category. Now I'm gonna choose here JavaScript. Okay, yeah, we got here JavaScript. If I choose here React, they're gonna fetch this second course here. You can see how to use Redux effectively. Okay, now it works pretty well. Now the second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get into first the category filter, and I'm going to remove this line here, the category filter. I'm gonna remove that. And now let's go back into the course car. And in here, I'm passing span tag. We're gonna pass in the category, and we're gonna pass here. We're gonna pass a course that category that name like this, and then we're gonna get it right here. Okay, so you can see we have here JavaScript for the category, and we have here React. And I'm gonna pass here a class. Pass here BG slate. And pass here 100. And pass here padding in x-axis and pass here 1, and padding in y-axis and pass here 1, 2, and pass here 2, and pass here rounded, and we're gonna pass here 4. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, you can see we have here a BG slate here, guys, and for the text, and pass here text small like this. Okay, and inside this div here, I'm gonna pass in the Nuxt link component, because we're gonna move to another page. We are going to pass here 2 attributes, and we're gonna pass here the folder where we're gonna put in the page, and pass here view course. Okay, and here we're gonna pass here the page. We're gonna pass here the slide. Okay, we are going to pass here the slide. I'm going to do the following thing. Okay, I'm gonna wrap that into single quotes, and I'm pass here plus. We're gonna pass here course that slide like this. Okay, and yeah, let's see here. In here, you can see we have here the course slide. If I click here, we're going to move to the page. Okay, view course. If I click here, yeah, we just move to the view course folder, and we have here the slide. And inside of it, we are going to put in the video of this course, but also all chapters. And the user can have the possibility to browse through chapters in order to see the content about it. Now we're going to move into the pages folder. Yeah, we have the components, and I'm gonna create here this folder view course. Okay, now we're going to move here page, pass here view course like this. And instead of it, you're gonna put in the contents. Okay, I'm going to pass here slug, and pass here slug. This is the root parameter that view. Okay, and then we're gonna put in the contents. Okay, this is the contents. And now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna head into the browser, and you can see what we got in here. Now you can see actually I pass here a video. Now we are going to head into Max here. I'm not heading to Max account, and you can see in here, if I click here assets, go ahead in here into the Max dashboard, and you can see we have here assets. Click there, and so you can choose here development. Okay, and you can see I've already uploaded 2 videos in here. Now I'm gonna click there, and here you can see these are the properties of this video. I'm going to click here playback and thumbnails. Okay, if you click there, you will now simply copy this. This is the Max player. I just copy that, and I just pass it in here. And I wrap it into the client only component, because I want to render the components only on the clients. And we have here another thing, which is the script. We need to add it. Okay, and in order to add a script, we're gonna use the use head composable. Okay, we pass here the use head composable, and we pass the script and pass here the link. Okay, and then we're gonna have something like this. Okay, pretty easy. Okay, and then for the header here, for the header components, I'm gonna get rid of that here. I'm gonna remove that, because we have here into the index file we got in our header here. Now we're gonna create a component for the header. I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna move in here. You can see we have here some components. I'm going to put it into, let me pass it into the base. Yeah, I can just pass it into the base components and pass the header view like this, and we're gonna pass here the template tag. Okay, yeah, we don't have autocomplete. Autocomplete is disabled for me. Now I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna pass it in here because autocomplete is disabled. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna remove that. Yeah, something like this. Now we're going to copy that, and then we're gonna pass in that error. Okay, we have here the error. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it in here. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the rest here, and we're gonna have here the header. And if you have a look to our components, move to the home page. Now let's head into the header components, and in here I'm passing Nuxt link like this because we want to move to the home page. We're gonna pass a /, and then I'm passing Nuxt link like this. Now, if we click here, we're gonna move to the home page. You can see. Now, let's go back to this page here. We are going to pass here the description. Okay. Now, we are going to head into this lag, the view file. You can see instead of our app, actually, into the pages folder, we got to root parameter. One is located into the admin folder for /course. And one is located into the view course. Okay. Now, if I click here to the one which is located into the course folder, you can see in here, we pass here this function fetch single course in order to retrieve details of a single course. And then I'm going to copy the function. We're going to use it into the folder, into the view course. And I'm going to click here. We're going to pass it in here. And I'm going to get rid of this, everything in here. I'm going to remove that. We're going to get rid of categories, okay? And these two lines here, okay? Now we're going to use the single course data, and we're going to pass it in here. Now I'm passing a div because we're going to pass a v-html directive in order to display HTML tag. You can see. And pass it in here, single course data, that's course, and we're gonna pass the description, okay, like this. And in here, guys, you can see we pass here the class. I'm gonna copy that. We are going to pass it in here, and then let's remove that and see what we're gonna get into the browser. Yeah, you can see we have here the description. Okay, we got it in here. Now I'm going to display here chapters. Okay, and once we click on a given chapter, we need to fetch the video of the chapter. Okay, now I'm going to do this. We are going to, let me see, we are going to head into the, yeah, I'm going to head into in here first. I'm gonna show you something. We're gonna move in here, and we have here chapters. Okay, and if we head into the use fetch chapter composable, you can see in here we just fetch all chapters, but we don't fetch all chapters related to this course. We made a mistake when we write the function. We forgot to pass here the course ID, okay? Because we need to fetch all chapters related to this course, okay? And you can see if I move here course and I click here how to use Redux effectively, and we click in here, you can see that we fetch these chapters. But for this course, we haven't here already added chapters. Now I'm going to do this and pass here an object. Okay, I'm gonna pass here query, and we're gonna pass here the course. I'm passing the course ID like this, course ID, and we're gonna pass it in here, which is the course ID. We're gonna set tab is gonna be a string. And now we're going to head into the admin /chapters inside of the endpoints, and we are going to modify. We're going to add here something. This, you're going to add this query, get query, and we're going to pass the course ID, and we're going to pass here with clause. Okay, it was like this. Okay, we didn't add it. Add that, guys. Okay, in order to get all chapters related to a given course. Okay. Once you do that, we are going to select only chapters related to the course. Now, let's go back into the file again. Pages, view course. Yeah, I'm not getting to this lag. We have here two root parameter. One is located into the view course folder. I'm going to head into the one located into the admin /course in here. Okay, like this. And we have a function fetch chapters. Now I'm going to copy that. and I'm going to pass it into the fetch single course because I want to await until we fetch the single course. We are going to pass here the ID. You can see we're gonna pass here the course ID, and we are going to await the course ID. And I'm going to copy the data that course. We're gonna pass it in here, and I'm gonna pass here a sync because we have a promise. Okay, like this. A sync like this, and we're gonna copy that too. We are going to head into the file here inside of our second root parameter. We're gonna pass it in here, and I'm pass here a sync. Yeah, a sync like this. Okay, we're gonna pass there a sync, and now let's check first. And you can see in here for this course we don't have chapters. Okay, you can see if I click courses, let's see what we're gonna get here. I'm gonna refresh the page, and yeah, if I click here for the second course, edit, no chapter error. For this one, for the first one, let's check here. Yeah, you can see we have chapters. Now we are going to move here, and what I'm going to do, I'm gonna display here all these chapters. I'm gonna pass them here. And we are going to move here at the bottom. We have here another, yeah, we have here this UL tag here, okay? And I'm going to do that. Yeah, you can see chapters, pass here UL tag. And if we head into the second root parameter right here, you can see we have here course chapters. This is another components. Let me check who we pass in. Course chapter, okay? Okay, is a UL tag. Okay, and inside this root, inside of this second root parameter, we got another UL tag. Okay, now I'm gonna comment this, and let me first comment this one here. I'm gonna comment this. Okay, and I'm gonna try to use these components. Let's go back into in here. And yeah, I'm gonna copy this, okay, and I'm going to pass it in here. We are going to head into the view course folder and Slack. We're gonna pass it in here, and let's get rid of this function. We have here chapters. I'm gonna extract the property. We're gonna pass it in here. Okay, now let's check here. Let's see. Yeah, you can see in here we have here chapters. Okay, let me pass that. We got here text which is in French. We got French text here, and I'm passing chapters like this. Okay, chapters, and here we're gonna have here chapters, and you can see we have a button right here, add video. Now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna hide it, okay, because on the page we don't need to show up the button. If we show up the button, a user can have the possibility to upload a video for that chapter. Okay, for the first chapter we don't have here video, but for the second one we got a video here because of the logo right here. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add here a little check. You can see we are going to head into this file right here. I'm going to head into the admin file, and inside of the admin file we have this user right here, user composable. We can copy that, and we are going to head into the Slack. Let me head into the pages. Yeah, I'm not heading to the pages so that you can see pages, admin, course, Slack. Okay, and I'm gonna pass it in here. I don't know if you got it in here. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it in here, and we're gonna use that the user object to check if the user row is equal to an admin. If the user row is equal to an admin, we are going to obviously show the button. Okay, now I'm gonna copy that. We are going to head into, yeah, let me head into in here. I'm gonna check in something, and yeah, let me head into in here. Yeah, you can see in order to see the user row right here, we pass the user that public metadata that row. That's what we're gonna do. Now we are going to go back in here. We are going to copy that, and then I'm going to scroll down in here. We're gonna pass here this. Okay, you can pass here this user, or I can just move at the top in here, and I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna head into the course chapter. Okay, and in here I'm going to pass that here, this composable, and I'm going to pass here this cons and pass here cons user and pass here user row like this is equal to user that value that public metadata. Let's copy it in here. Okay, we are going to get into the middleware. Okay, we are going to copy in something. I'm gonna pass it off, and here let me copy this line here to get the row. I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass into the course chapter. Okay, and I'm pass it in here. Okay, and pass it in here, and if we copy that, and I'm gonna pass it under here, and let's see what we're gonna get. Okay, you can see actually we have here admin. If the row is equal to an admin, we are going to display here this button. Okay, now I'm gonna make here check and pass here vif. Yeah, and pass here this vif. Okay, a row is equal to an admin. Okay, admin. Okay, and we are going to display the button. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the row is equal to an admin. This is the admin. Okay, and if the row is equal to a learner, we aren't gonna display this button. Okay, now what I'm going to do in here, and also I'm gonna add here a BG. Once we over chapter, we are going to add a BG slate. Now we're going to move in here, and then we're gonna pass that cursor pointer over BG slate. Okay, now you can see once we put our cursor over here, you can see that actually we just added here a BG slate above a chapter. Okay, we can know that actually we're about to select this chapter. Okay, now I'm going to move here. We are going to create a function fetch video chapter. Okay, yeah, I can pass the fetch video chapter. We're gonna pass the video URL, and the video URL is a string. We are going to pass here an HTTP request. Okay, and now I'm gonna copy the function. We are going to pass it in here on click events. On click events in here, we are going to select, we're going to pass a fetch video chapter. Okay, we are going to make that HTTP request to the server, and in here I'm going to select that and pass here and pass the chapter that video URL. Okay, like this. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to head into the use fetch chapter. Let's head into the use fetch chapter. Okay, we have this composable. We're gonna pass in another function, use fetch chapter video. Okay, copy that, and we're gonna pass in fetch chapter, yeah, like this video. Okay, and we're gonna pass in the video URL. The type is a string, and we're gonna pass here another reactive property and pass a cons fetch video loading is equal to false here, false value, and we are going to copy that. We're going to pass it in here, and we are going to create an endpoint to the chapters folder. We're going to name it gay chapter and pass here chapter video. Okay, like this. And then here we're gonna pass here that property, and if we got an error, we're gonna pass it in here. Now we're gonna pass here the video URL. We're gonna copy that, we're gonna pass it in here. Okay, and for the data here, right now I'm gonna comment this line, and once we finish writing the endpoints, we are going to come back in here, and we are going to create a reactive property that is gonna hold the data of these endpoints. Okay, now let's head into the chapters folder. In the server folder, okay, admin, we have the admin. Okay, we are going to scroll down, server, chapter, and then I'm passing another endpoint, chapter video.ts. Okay, yeah, like this. And we're going to copy everything in here. I'm gonna head into the upload video, and you can see in here, once we upload, when we upload the video, we return the upload URL, okay? And this the upload, we return the upload ID, and this is the upload ID that we store into the database, and we're gonna use that ID in order to fetch all properties of a single video. And once we make an HTTP request, we are going to get all of that. You can see these are the properties of this video. We're gonna get everything in here. Okay, now I'm going to do this. I'm gonna copy everything in here. We are going to pass it into the chapter video, and I'm going to modify here something. You can see pass here chapter. I'm gonna pass here this. Let me go back in here. I'm gonna copy this, and we are going to pass it in here. Okay, let me remove this line here. We're gonna pass it video URL like this. We're gonna copy that. We're gonna pass it in here, and we have here the Max clients. Okay, and I'm going to remove this line here and that too here. Okay, and I'm going to do this, pass you upload, and I'm gonna remove that here. We're gonna pass here client that video that uploads that retrieve here, and we are going to pass here the video URL like this. Yeah, we have here the video URL. Okay, and here I'm going to do this. We are going to make a check upload and passive upload that assets ID is undefined. We are going to return a message and pass here a video still uploading or processing. Okay, like this. And here you're gonna pass here the status of the video upload that status, and here we are going to get access to the assets. We're gonna pass here assets. Okay, and we're going to pass here a wait again clients that video that assets like this. You can let me check here if we should pass there an S. Yeah, you can see we should pass there an S. Okay, assets that retrieve. Okay, we're gonna pass here upload that assets ID. Okay, like this. And then we are going to return this object. Okay, we're gonna pass here we're gonna return the asset ID. Okay, we're gonna return here the playback ID that we're gonna use in order to play the video. Now we need to check that. Okay, now I'm going to go back into the use fetch chapters. Okay, let me check in here. Yeah, use fetch chapters, and in here I'm going to do this. We're gonna pass here to pass here cons, and we're gonna pass here video chapter video data. Okay, and we're gonna pass here ref. Okay, like this, and we're gonna copy the chapter video data. We are going to pass it in here. We're gonna pass it data. Okay, that value like this. And once we make an HTTP request to the server, we are going to get here the data. Okay, now let me check here fetch chapter video. We're gonna pass it the video URL. Okay, everything is okay. Now let's pass the chapter video data in here. We're gonna pass it to the return statement, and we're gonna copy also this function fetch chapter video. We're gonna pass it in here too. Now we are going to go back into the course chapter. Okay, and in here you can see we have defining a function fetch video chapter. Okay, now I'm going to define an event instead. We are going to remove that because we are going to head into in this file right here. You can see if we head into in the file view course that's lag, we are going to pass it in here. We're gonna pass here fetch chapter video, and then we are going to define in that event. We're gonna pass it in here. Okay, and I'm pass here course store, something like this, that, and then we're gonna call the function fetch chapter video. Okay, like this. And now let's go back in here into the course chapter. We're gonna define in that event. Okay, we are going to pass it in here, and we are going to pass here the video URL like this, and we are going to copy that. Yeah, I'm gonna copy that. We are going to pass it in here, fetch video chapter, and we're gonna pass it emit, and we're gonna pass it the name of the event, and we're gonna pass it the video URL. And the video URL right here is an ID. Okay. Now let's go back into the view course page. In here, view course is a folder Slack, and in here, guys, we are going to display here the chapter video data. Now I'm gonna pass that here. Let's extract it first. You can see we're gonna extract it in here, chapter video data. We're gonna copy that, and we are going to pass it here. Okay, and see what we're gonna get. Okay, right here. Now let's check here. Okay, yeah, it seems we got an error in here. Let's move into here. Yeah, we got an error. Yeah, we're gonna add here cam. Okay, now let's check here, guys, and see what we're gonna get in here. Yeah, you can see we got data in here. Yeah, you can see we got the asset ID and the playback ID. Okay, and we're gonna use the playback ID in order to play the video. Okay, and we're gonna pass it in here. Okay, now I'm going to remove here the line. If I click here, yeah, you can see actually pass here the playback ID. You can see, and for this chapter we don't have a video. You can see in this the icon we don't have a video. If I click for the second one here, introduction, you're gonna see we're gonna have here the video. You can see we fetch the video. I'm going to add here something else. If we head into the use fetch chapter, you can see in here we have this property fetch video loading. Okay, now I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to pass it in here because we need to get access to it. We're gonna pass it to this line into the view course page. Okay, in the page, I'm pass here a span tag. Okay, and then I'm pass here vif. Okay, v fetch video. We're gonna pass here a loading video, something like this. And let's extract that. So we're gonna pass it at the top here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna click here. Loading video. You can see loading video. Okay. Yeah, once we got the video, we hide that again. I'm pass here text small like this. Text small and font semi bold. Okay. And let's check again and click, yeah, loading video. Okay, loading video. And also you can see we have a component loading, yeah, loading icon. We can just pass it in here, and here I can just do this and pass here the component. Okay, because I need to show it loading icon, and we are going to pass it in here. And when we are going to make a HTTP request to the server, we're gonna show it up. Okay, and now we should pass it also a property right here, which is the loading like this. Now let's try this again. And if I click here again, yeah, loading video, you can see we show that. Okay, loading video, that's awesome, beautiful. Okay, all right, guys, now I'm gonna display the chapter title at the bottom here. When we select a given chapter, we are going to pass here the title. We haven't yet display here. We haven't yet passed here the title. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, we are going to head into in here, and we have here these objects. Here, I'm going to copy it, and I'm gonna pass it here. We're gonna pass here. We're gonna pass here the category. We're gonna pass here single course data that course that category, and here we're gonna pass here that name like this. Let's see what we got here. And yeah, the category for this course is JavaScript. And now we're gonna pass here the title of the chapter. And to pass the title of the chapter, we are going to head into the chapter folder. And let me copy that, and we are going to head into the chapter video at TS endpoint. And in here, I'm gonna pass here this and pass here found first. Okay, and we're gonna pass here where I can pass here find unique. Yeah, let me check. We are going to pass here. Yeah, you can see we send here the video URL, the upload URL. Okay. Yeah, we can use even the upload URL and pass here video, pass here video URL. We got this column and I'm pass it in here. Okay, yeah, like this. And I'm going to pass that into Prisma. I'm pass here cons. I'm gonna pass here an array, and we are going to extract the assets and also the chapter. Okay, and I'm pass a weight and Prisma that's all. Okay, because we have here the retrieve function here returns a promise. You can copy that. This is a promise, and also this the find first returns a promise. I'm gonna copy that and pass it in here too, like this. Okay, and then we're gonna get rid of these two awaits. And now let me click here format documents, and now we're gonna pass here the chapter. Okay, and the chapter here is an object. We are going to get access to title. Okay, I'm gonna copy it, and we're going to go back in here. We're gonna pass the chapter video, the data, the chapter, the title. Now let's check this and see what we got in here. We're gonna refresh the page, and also we should pass here the price. I'm gonna copy this, and we're going to pass here the price. Okay, and I'm pass here the price, that price, like this, the price of the course. Okay, and now I'm gonna try to select a chapter here and see what we're gonna get here. Yeah, you can see we got here introduction. Now I'm gonna add here another column. We are going to head into the Prisma schema, tap Prisma schema, and in here, guys, we're gonna add here another column, which is the status, and we're gonna have here two status for given course, paid or free. And here I'm gonna copy that, this enum type. Let's copy that, and we are going to pass it in here and pass it here. And I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna pass it right here. Okay, status, course status, and by default, we're gonna say here the course is gonna be free by default. And we're gonna tap this command in order to add the column. Okay, I'm gonna copy that, and in here I'm gonna tap it right here. npx prisma migrate dev. Okay, dash name add course status. Okay, like this. And now we're gonna move to the admin side, and in here we are going to head into the course model. And in here I'm going to copy that, and we are going to add here something status. Okay, this is gonna be the course status, and we are going to pass, you can see, pass the course input and pass here the status, and here we are going to create an array of status. Okay, now to do so, I'm going to head into the use fetch composer. Yeah, you can see use create update course, and in here I'm gonna create here an array and pass the status. Okay, and we're gonna pass in free, and I'm passing paid. Okay, and we are going to copy that. You can pass a course, pass a course status, and we are going to pass it into ref, and we are going to copy that. We're going to pass it to the return statement. Okay, right here, and we're going to add here another input, which is the status. Pass here the status, and we're going to pass here free as default value. Okay, something like this. Now we are going to head into the course model again, and we are going to extract the property. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it to the course status, and then we're gonna iterate through it, and we're gonna pass here v4 status in course status. Okay, we're gonna pass it here, and pass here for the key, we're gonna pass the status, and for the value, we're gonna pass the status. Okay, and here I'm pass here status too. Okay, yeah, everything is okay. And also for the validation, we are going to, for the validation here, I'm gonna pass it. This is the price. Let me check here. Yeah, we have here the category. Yeah, this data. This is, we should pass here. We have here type, but we should pass here category. Okay, because we need to run validation for this input, we should pass a category ID. And here course. Now I'm going to pass here to another field, which is the status. I'm saying the status should be required. Okay. And now, as our server finished running, I'm going to head into the browser. Okay. We have here an error. Cannot read properties of undefined reading errors. Okay. Maybe we don't have here. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of. Let me remove here the status too. Okay. And now I'm gonna refresh the page in here and see what we're gonna get. Okay. Yeah, we don't have an error here. And yeah, we got an error again. I'm gonna move here to courses. Okay. Now I'm gonna click here. Yeah, we got an error again. Okay, errors. Okay, we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna scroll down in here and let me see pass here. Yeah, I'm pass here option chaining to remove that error. Okay, something like this, option chaining, and in here to pass here option chaining in case we don't find the status property into the rules array. We are going to get here and define. Okay, that's better. Okay, now let's try this again. Yeah, we're gonna refresh the page in here, and yeah, we don't have an error again. Now I'm gonna click here edit. Okay, yeah, and if I click here edit, you can see we have here status, we have here the categories, and we have here the status. Okay, and now for this course, I'm going to edit it. I'm gonna click here edit. Okay, we can edit the title and the price, and now we should get here to the title because, you know, yeah, we should get here to the title when we pop up this model. Okay, now let me check that. I don't know why we don't pass here this value. We are going to head into the edit course. Yeah, we are going to head into the courses page. Okay, in here, and you can see we have here the Slack admin course Slack. This is the root parameter, and in here we have here a model. Okay, show edit model, and we pass here only the ID, and I think we should pass here when we click on the edit. Yeah, you can see we have here this button. Yeah, show edit model. We should pass to the course input. We should pass it the title. And here, I'm gonna pass here the title, okay, of the course, and also I'm pass here the price. And now I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna pass here the title, and here we're gonna pass here the price, and here too pass here the title, and here we're gonna pass here the price, like this. And now let's check again. Okay, and here you can see we have here. I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna pass here the title and pass here the title. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, we pass here again the title, and then we pass here the price. Okay, yeah, like this, everything is okay. Now let's try it again. If I move here courses and I click again here edit, and I'm gonna click here, yeah, edit, you can see we pass here the title, how to manage states in view 3 app, and we pass here the price. Now for the status, I'm gonna click edit. Okay, we just edit the course. Now as we just edit the chapter and we add the status, we are going to add it in here too. Okay, now we're going to move into the page here. You can see we have 12 chapters and pass here chapters. Yeah, let me see what we pass to the course chapters. Yeah, we pass the chapters, and we are going to get the length of the array. Okay, in order to determine how many chapters this course has. Okay, we're gonna pass it that length. And for the status, I'm gonna copy that. And for the duration, we're gonna pass that later on. We are going to pass here the status right now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move here. We're gonna copy this badge. Okay, now let's head into this view course folder. You can see in here, we are going to copy. Yeah, we're gonna copy that Slack, and yeah, we're gonna pass in here, and we're going to copy that because we need to display the status here. Okay, and pass here status like this, and you're gonna see. Let's check here. Okay, you can see this is a free course. Okay, status is free. Now I'm going to move here, and then we are going to pass it to the status. I'm going to copy this line, and we're going to pass it into the span tag. Okay, I'm gonna copy it. We're gonna copy it, and we're going to go in here too and pass this slag again. And here, guys, don't be confused because we got here two root parameter. Okay, one is located into the view course folder, and one is located into the course folder. And I'm not heading to the one located into the view course folder. We're gonna pass here this. Okay, we're gonna pass here the status. Okay, and yeah, you're gonna see we're gonna have here the status. Okay, and actually you can see in here we don't display anything as we don't select a video. Okay, and if we don't select a video, I'm going to pass here vif. Okay, and I'm gonna copy the playback ID. We're gonna pass it in here. We're gonna check if the playback ID is undefined. Okay, we are going to display this and pass here velse. Okay, velse, and we are going to pass here a div. We're gonna pass here class of flex. Okay, and pass here class of flex. Okay, and we are going to I'm passing another div, and in here I'm passing select a chapter. Okay, and I'm gonna pass here a line, and pass here a line is equal to center. Okay, let's see what we got in here. Okay, now I'm gonna move here to the home page. I'm gonna click in here. Now I'm gonna refresh the page. You're gonna see what we're gonna get, because actually we don't select any chapter. Okay, we're gonna get here, you can see select a chapter, and now I'm going to pass here a class here. Let me copy that again. I'm gonna copy that, and then I'm gonna wrap it into another div here and pass a class of flex core. I'm passing flex core, and I'm gonna pass here this div, and I'm gonna pass here an image tag. Okay, and now here what I'm going to do, you can see in here we got this image right here. I'm going to copy it, and we can just to copy it, we can head into the .env file in here. Okay, we have here chapter with a video. I'm gonna copy this image, and we are going to pass it into the page here. I'm gonna go back in here, and we're gonna pass an image tag. Okay, and we're gonna pass it the link. Okay, now let's see what we got. Okay, we should get here, yeah, something like this. We can reduce the width, and for the width I can just pass here even 100, and let's see what we got. Okay, something like this. Now I'm going to move, I'm gonna center this. I'm gonna move at the middle. Okay, and in here we can pass here, you can see this div. Okay, you have a center. Okay, yeah, and here I'm gonna pass here a class of justify center. Okay, and now let's see what we got. Okay, yeah, we don't move that to the middle. We're gonna copy that, and I'm gonna pass it in here. Okay, and now let's see what we got. Okay, you can see actually we sent that. Now I'm going to do this. I'm gonna pass here margin tab, and pass here even 10. Yeah, I'm pass here 50, and let's see what we're gonna have here. Okay, yeah, something like this. Select a chapter. Okay, and here I'm gonna pass here a class. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna wrap it into a span tag, and I'm pass a class of fence balls, and we're gonna pass that here. Okay, yeah, and these two I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna wrap into a div tag, pass a div tag, and I'm gonna pass here, and we're gonna pass here class margin bottom. I can pass here too. Okay, and it's gonna looks beautiful. Okay, yeah, something like this. Okay, let me reduce also the width in here. Now the next thing I'm going to do, you can see in here we just pass here the link here. We are going to replace it with a value located into the .env file, and for that we are going to head into the course chapter, and inside of the course chapter you can see we have here this variable chapter without video, we can copy that, okay, like this. And now we are going to pass here const config is equal to use runtime config. Okay, yeah, everything is okay now. Now let me select a chapter. I'm gonna click here. Okay, yeah, you can see we pick a chapter. Actually, we got video. And if we don't have here a video, I'm gonna click here. Let's see what we're gonna get here. We pass here select a chapter, or we can pass here no video found. Okay, this is a better name. We are going to go back in here. We're gonna pass here no video found. Yeah, no video for this chapter. Okay, no video found for this chapter. Yeah, something like this. No video found for this chapter. And these two, yeah, I'm gonna pull that into the middle. Okay, yeah, align center. I'm gonna copy that attributes, and then I'm gonna pass it in here too and in here too. Now let's see. Okay, yeah, no video found for this chapter. That's awesome. Now we're gonna be talking about payment. We are going to add here another module for making payment. Okay, now you're gonna tap npm. You're gonna look for this module, Nuxt module for Strap. Now once you install it, we are going to add it into the modules array. You're gonna copy that, and then you're gonna scroll. You're gonna copy this object right here, and then what you're gonna do, you're gonna get immediately into your .env file, into your nuxt.config.ts file. At the bottom here, we're gonna add it right here. Okay, and you're gonna create the strap secret key and the strap public key into your .env file, and you're gonna pass your strap keys in here. Now, how you gonna get your strap keys? Now, first of all, you need to create a Strap account. And once you create a Strap account, they're going to redirect you to the page. And once in here, you're going to move to the Strap dashboard. At the left bottom corner, right here at the bottom, you can see developers. And then you're going to get into API keys. And once in here, you're going to copy your publishable key and secret key. Copy them right here, okay? Alright guys, now we're going to learn how to use this module in order to process payments. And we already added this object into the nuxt.config.ts file, and we add into the .env file these two environment variables, the strap secret key and the strap public key. We have two ways to use it, on the server side and on the client side. Now for the server, this is the code that we're going to use. First, we need to import the use server strap, and then we are going to copy this code right here in order to process the payment. Okay, pretty easy, guys. And we have a code that we're going to use on the client side. We're going to import the use client strap, okay, in order to process the payments. And we're going to use the line right here. Now, let's head into the component folder. And in here, what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to create a payment folder. Into the component folder, we're going to pass the payments, okay? And instead of it, we're going to pass in the strap elements, okay? The view, and we're going to put in this code, okay? I don't have much thing here, just import the use client strap. I create here two variable, elements and car elements. And this is the function, create strap elements. And in here, we're going to create the car. We're going to pass here elements that creates car, and here we're going to pass here car that mounts car elements, and these are attributes. And if we scroll down, you're going to see this div right here, car elements, and then is where we're going to inject the strap input, okay? And we're going to import in the strap elements. Now let's see what we got here. Yeah, pay with strap, and this is the strap input, okay? We're going to pass here the car number. Yeah, and now the next thing we're gonna do, we are going to head into the Prisma schema, and in here we're gonna create the payment model. Okay, now into the API folder, I'm pass here payment. Okay, yeah, let me pass here. Yeah, we're gonna pass here payment. Okay, and we're gonna create passing an endpoint create payment. Okay, like this. And then I'm putting this code. I'm not explaining you how it works, okay? Now you can see this is the code here that we're gonna use on the server. The first thing we're gonna import the user strap, and that's what I did in here. I'm gonna import it. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm gonna copy that line, and then we're gonna pass it in here. Okay, and we import it, and we are going to extract the course ID, price ID, user ID, and email. These are the inputs that we're gonna send to this endpoint, and here I'm just checking if the amount is greater than 0. Okay, if it's not, we are going to throw this error. Okay, amount must be greater than 0. Or if the course ID, user ID, or email, these keys, these fields are undefined, we are going to return here missing field required. Okay, and instead of passing this, we can let's create right here. We are going to head into this folder right here, and we are going to head into validate category inputs. And in here, I'm going to create this line here in order to validate this input. Okay, now we're going to head into payments, and we're gonna pass in a 5. We're gonna create in 5 validate input. Okay, that is like this. And in here, I'm gonna pass here. We're going to import Zod in here. Import Z from Zod. Yeah, like this. And we're gonna pass here validate payment input. Okay, now we have here the course ID. The course ID should be a string here. Okay, now let me get rid of the name here, course ID, and pass here course ID, and we're gonna pass here this. Yeah, let me check again here the user ID, and I'm gonna copy that, and we have also the email. We have also the email here. Now let's check in here. Okay, into the create payments. Yeah, course ID, user ID, email. Okay, and now let's go back into the creator tiers for the category, and I'm gonna copy this line here in order to run the validation. Okay, now I'm gonna copy this, and we are going to go back into the create payment tiers, and I'm past this line right here. Okay, now we're going to import the validate payment input. We're gonna copy that constant, and we're gonna pass it in here. Okay, let me pass it in here. We're gonna pass it in here, and we're gonna import it. Now we are going to copy these inputs. We're gonna pass it to the save price function, and we're gonna add here the price. And you can see in here, guys, I just multiply the price by 100. And here's the thing. Let's say the course price is 15. Okay, and then we are going to take 15 multiplied by 100. We're gonna get 1,500, and then Strap is gonna consider that we pay $15. Okay, but if we send here, let's say 15, Strap is gonna consider we pay 0.15. Okay, and that's why it's better to multiply by 100. Okay, now let's get into the command prompt, and we're gonna run npx prisma migrate dev -- name payment. We're gonna generate the migration. We're gonna tap inner and get into, and tap also npm run dev to generate the Prisma client. Okay, and tap inner. Okay, now I'm going to head into in here. Let me get into the migrations folder. You can see we have here new migrations, which is payments, and you're gonna see we have it in here. And we have here the payment table. Now I'm gonna head into the composable folder. We're gonna create a composable. Okay, now we have here some composable for the course, and I'm pass here payments. Yeah, payments like this, and inside of it we're gonna pass in a composable use payments. The TS, we are going to export this composable, and I'm pass use payments. Okay, and we're gonna pass in a sync function, create payments, and we're gonna pass it some. We are going to pass it some parameters like the course ID, because we're gonna pass this, and we're going to add that endpoint. We need the course ID and pass a string. We're gonna need here the price is gonna be a string too. Okay, now for the course ID, for the user ID and email, we are going to extract this property to the user composable. Okay, now we have here another composable. I'm not import it in here. I'm passing use user. Okay, and this composable is provided by Clerk. Okay, now let's create here user ID. User ID is equal to user dot value dot ID, and I'm not setting a string. We have also the email is equal to user dot value. Okay, that's, and I'm passing email address. I'm passing you. Yeah, let me check here the property that we should pass here, and let me just cancel this. And you can see brackets over this property right here. Use. Okay, and here this says the tab is a tab they return here. Let me pull my cursor over the user here. You can see the tab should be the tab here. They return a computed ref. The tab is user resource. Okay, now I'm going to see what we should pass there in order to get the email address. And here I'm gonna click here. Okay, let me click here. Okay, in order to, we are going to go where we have the tab here. Okay, let me show you. And yeah, let me click here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move up here, and we have here some tabs. I'm gonna get into imports. Okay, and instead of imports, we are going to look for use user. Okay, use user. Okay, I'm passing use user, and we have it here. You can see node modules at Clerk. Okay, I'm gonna click here. And in here, we are going to move into the file. We are going to look for use user composable. I'm click here again. I'm click here again. And we are going to click here user return. I'm click here again. And here we are going to scroll down. You're going to see user resource. This is the type. And you can see the user resource contains a bunch of property, the ID. And here we have the username. And we have here email addresses. This is an array. Now I'm gonna copy that, and we are going to see the property here, email address. And in order to get access to the email, we're going to pass here this email address is an array, and I'm gonna pass here email address like this, email address like this, and I'm gonna set it as string. I think this is a string. Okay, this is string. I'm gonna set it as a string because it's gonna be undefined. Okay, I'm pass here option chaining. Yeah, like this. And now I'm going to we pass here the course ID, the user ID, the price, and the email. Okay, now for this property right here, yeah, this is this one. The tab here is any. Okay, now I'm going to return these properties. I'm gonna copy them. And we're gonna pass here this. Let me copy that, and we're going to pass here. Yeah, I can just do this. Okay, and here we're going to pass here return, and then I'll pass this. Okay. Okay, we have here the client secrets, the header, and the message. Okay, now I'm gonna copy the create payment function. We're gonna pass it to the return statements. Okay, yeah, like this. We have it. Yeah, everything is okay in here. Now we're going to create a store for the payments composable. We are going to scroll down, and you can see at the bottom here we have the stores folder and pass here payment. Okay, and inside of the payment folder we're gonna pass in payment store. Okay, the tiers. Let's copy content into the core store. Copy everything in here and pass it into the payment store. And in here, we are going to, let me remove everything in here. I'm going to pass use payment store like this. And I'm passing payment store. Okay. And we are going to import the composable const payments props like this. Use payments. We're going to pass use payments. Okay. And let's get rid of these properties. We're going to pass here payment props. Okay. Payment props, and we're gonna pass here the use payment, so we're gonna pass it to the accept automodule update function. Okay, in order to have the updates when we modify something into this, the store. Okay, yeah, everything is okay in here. Now we are going to head into, the strap element, okay, and so we're gonna import in the payment store, okay. Pass your cons payments, okay, payment store, and some pass a use payment store, okay, yeah, okay, like this. Okay, I'm gonna remove this line because we use auto imports payment store, and in here we are going to get access to the function. Pass here and pass here cons. Okay, we are going to extract here the client secrets, okay, secrets, and then pass here await, and then we're gonna pass here create payments, yeah, like this. And now let me go back into the use create payments composer. We use create payments, use payment composer, and in here I'm gonna extract this property right here, okay. I'm gonna copy these properties. We are going to pass it in here, strap elements, and we're gonna pass it right here, okay. And yeah, like this, okay, like this. And also we're gonna pass here some properties. You can see if we head into the use payment composable, you can see the payments, the create payment function, we pass it the course ID and the price. Now we are going to go back into, let's go back into the strap elements. We're gonna pass in a prop, okay. Let's define here prop cons props, okay, is equal to define props. And here if we head into the view course folder, and so you can see in here we have the single course data variable. We're gonna pass it as a prop to the strap element in order to get access to the price and the course ID, okay. Now pass it here, and now let's head into the strap elements, and in here we're gonna pass here the prop, and in here I'm going to pass here the ID. You can see we have here the course ID and the price. Now in order to eat the price, we are going to, let's go back in here, and I'm gonna go back in here, and we're gonna pass here constant cons price, and we're gonna pass here we're gonna pass here props, and here we're gonna pass here single course data dot, and we are going to pass here the price, okay, like this. Okay, now let's check in here to see how you pass the price. Here I'm passing price, and you can see pass the single course data, and this is how we get access to the price. I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass it in here, okay. This is the price, okay. I'm passing the price, and also we're gonna pass here the course ID. I'm copy that. We're gonna pass here course ID, and here too we're gonna pass here ID like this. And now we're gonna copy this to variable. We're gonna pass it in here. I'm passing the course ID, and we're gonna pass here the price like this. And in here I'm going to check here if we got the error, if error, and here we're gonna check if the client secret is undefined, or if the client secret is undefined, we are going to throw an error, okay. And here I'm passing here show error. Now let's head into, we have here function show saver error, and we're gonna pass it this message, okay. Pass here this message, and if the client secret is undefined, we are going to show this error. Else we are going to process the payment. We are going to pass a strap that value that confirm car payments, and then we're gonna pass the secret key, and you're gonna pass the payment methods, okay. We pass the car elements, and for the billing details, I'm not just pass you the email, okay. For the email prop, let me return also the email. We can just extract it from here, okay. Now I'm pass here to the email. Let me check in here. We are going to go back into the use payments, and in here you can see we return here the client secrets error message. Now I'm gonna return here the email, and then we're gonna get access to it, okay. The email, and I'm pass here to the user ID, okay, user ID. Now let's go back in here. We are going to pass here the email to, and we're gonna use that email here, okay. Then if we got an error, we're gonna display here payment failed, else payment pass, okay. and here I'm pass here this message. We're gonna pass a show server error. Okay, I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna pass it in here. Okay, and now you can see at the bottom here we have a property is loading, and once we click here, we are going to set the value here is equal to true. And here I'm gonna create a property right here, const is loading. The default value is gonna be false here. When you're gonna start processing the request, we are going to modify the value to true. Okay, that value is equal to true. Okay, and if the payment pass, we're gonna modify the state. Okay, here I'm gonna pass here this. Okay, and here we're gonna pass here this. Okay, and okay, I'm gonna pass here this. Okay, once we finish processing the request, we're gonna modify the value to false. And also, I'm going to copy that. I'm gonna wrap that into try catch. I'm gonna copy everything in here. Okay, I'm gonna copy everything in here, and then I'm pass it into try catch. Okay, and here you're gonna pass it show server error. Okay, I'm passing error. Pass here error that message. Okay, like this. And now we are going to import also another component. You can see inside of the base component we have the loading icon component. I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna copy the name. We're gonna pass it at the bottom here. Okay, and we are going to pass here vif is loading. If vif is loading, we are going to display here this and pass here another span tag, and we are going to pass here that components in here. We're gonna copy this label. We're gonna pass it in here. Okay, and we are going to pass here the price, and we're gonna pass here this. We're gonna pass here single course data. Okay, that course that price. Okay, like this. And also for this property right here, loading icon, we're gonna pass it in here. Okay, and we're gonna write something like processing. Okay, processing. Okay, pass it processing okay, like this. Okay, like this. And now also we forgot to pass here into the catch block. We forgot to pass in is loading. We're gonna modify the state in case we got it. Okay, everything is okay in here, guys. Now we need to try this. We are going to head into the browser, and then we're gonna check this. Okay, everything is okay. Now I'm going to head into the browser, and in here we're gonna pass here a car number and pass it 4242. And then I'm gonna copy that and pass again 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. And we're gonna pass here the month, and I'm passing the expiration here. I'm passing 27, and the car validation code I'm passing 123. Okay, and now we're gonna click on the pay button. Okay, processing can see. Now let's see what we're gonna get here. We got an error, page not found. Okay, now we're gonna check the endpoints in here and see what we pass in here. You can see this says page not found. Okay, now, and also we're gonna fix something in here. Okay, I'm gonna pass here the class. Okay, I'm gonna pass here class of flex. Okay, now pass here class flex. Okay, I want to align RM in a row. Okay, now I'm gonna click here again, pay again. You can see, we should pass here v else. Okay, in case if the is loading property is equal to true, we are going to hide this. Okay, if the value is equal to true, we are going to show this. Else, okay, else we are going to show this. Okay, now let's try it again. Click here, processing, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass here a div and pass here this a div. And I'm passing class of flex to align RM in a row, and here I'm passing div, and here I'm passing div2, and here div2. Okay, and here you can see for the endpoint, if you head into the network tab here, you can see if we click here again payment, you can see this says here, this says they don't find this endpoint. You can see, and here pass the API payment, create payment. Okay, Now let's check here. Okay, and here we get into the API folder. Okay, now let me check here. I'm going to head into the API folder, the server folder. I'm not heading to the server folder, API, and we pass here payment, and then we have here create payments. Let me copy the name of this endpoint. Yeah, you can see pass here create payment with an S, and yeah, I'm pass here. Yeah, let's head into the use payments, and then we're gonna pass that here, create payments like this. And now let's check again. I'm gonna click here again, pay. Yeah, okay, and see. Yeah, we got right now we got server error. Now I'm not it here, create payment, and see which error we got. And for the price, you can see expected number, but we pass here string. Okay, that's why we got this error. Okay. And here, in order to get rid of this error, I'm going to convert it into a number, pass here parse floats. And if we send here string, we're gonna get an error. Now let's try this again. Okay, we are going to click here. We're gonna pass here the car number. Okay, and we're gonna pass here the month and the year and the verification code. Now we are going to head into the network tab. We are going to click on pay and see what we're gonna get in here. Okay, we got an error, cannot destructure property, client secret. Okay, and here you can see we have an error. All elements of the array need to be Prisma client premises. Okay, that's why we got an error. Okay, and I see why we got an error, guys. You can see inside of the transaction we pass here this trap payment intent. We are trying to process the payment into the transaction. That's why we got this error. And I would like to process this at a time, but it doesn't work. And here I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna remove here the transaction, and I'm gonna use promise.o. Okay, because I don't need the transaction anymore. I'm pass here promise.o, and we are going to process these two promise in parallel, and then we are going to make the payments. Now let's try this again. And here I'm gonna click here pay, and let's see what we're gonna get in here. Okay, we're gonna wait a bit. Okay, yeah, payment processed successfully. It works, and you can see as I just remove this line, the transaction, it works, and I pass here promise.o. Okay, and it means we process these two promise at a time in parallel. Okay, guys, and now we're going to head into the Stripe dashboard, and then you're gonna see we are going to have here the payment, and here you can see we have here payment which is incomplete. This payment has failed, and now if we click here again, we're gonna have here a payment which has passed successfully. Okay, now I'm gonna click here succeed, and we're gonna see that payment. Okay, let me wait a bit. I'm gonna click here. Oh yeah, you can see we have here a payment which has been processed successfully. Okay, you can see this is one right here, and we have here some incomplete payment here. Okay, now we're gonna go back into our app, and in here, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to format this amount here, and we are going to format to this amount in here, guys. We're gonna format that, and now I'm going to go back here. We are going to head into the URLs folder. Yeah, we have here the URLs folder. I'm gonna go at the bottom here, and we are going to pass here format amount. Okay, the TS, format amount TS, and then we're gonna put in this function in order to format the amount. Okay, and here I'm gonna copy this function. We are going to head into the Stripe elements. Okay, Stripe elements. Yeah, I'm tap here Stripe elements components, and we have here amount. I'm gonna scroll down, and this is the amount. We are going to pass here this function, and then we are going to format the amount. And also I'm going to head into the course car. We have in the price course car here. Okay, and you can see we should have, yeah, we have here the price. Pass it here too. Okay, and also I'm gonna get into the single course. Yeah, we are going to get into now tap here slag, and we have here two root parameter. One is located into the view course folder. Okay, And we have here to the price. We're gonna pass this function here in order to format this amount. And we have another root parameter into the admin / course. You can see we have here another root parameter, and we're gonna pass that function here too, okay, like this. And now let's see how it looks like. Okay, I'm going to reload the page here. Let me check here. The server is running. Okay, let me check. Yeah, I'm tap here npm run dev. And meanwhile, we are going to continue. And in here, if we head into the use payments, okay, we have here this composable. We extract the user. Now I'm gonna copy this property. I'm gonna pass it here, and I'm going to go back into the strap elements. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to check here if the user is authenticated. Okay, pass here if. Okay, we're gonna pass here this property user. If the user is authenticated, we are going to show the strap element form. Okay, else if the user is not authenticated, we are going to show Steve. We're gonna tell the user to sign in. Okay, and here we're gonna pass here else. Okay, and we are going to tell the user to sign in to process the payment. And if I move at the top here, we are going to extract the property. We have here the use payments and pass here cons user, and I'm pass here store to ref to preserve reactivity. We're gonna pass here the payment store. Okay, like this. And now let's check here. The server is up. Now let's see what we got here. Yeah, you can see that actually we format here the amount. Okay, and here we have here $1. Okay, let me check here. I'm gonna get into the utils folder. Let's head into in here, and okay, let's check what we are going to head into the course card. And I don't know why we pass here. Yeah, okay, let me remove this here and see what we're gonna get in here. Okay, we have here that, and also we are going to head into, and also we're gonna head into the strap element. We are going to remove the $sign here. You can see we have here the $sign. Okay, we're gonna remove that. Let's head into this file. We're gonna remove here $sign, and we are going to head into the second root parameter where we pass this. Okay, we have here, yeah, this $sign. I'm gonna remove it in here, and now let's see what we got in here. I'm gonna click here. Yeah, you can see here we just format the amount. Okay, and now let's say here you can see I'm logged in here. I click here sign out. Okay, I click sign out, and then now I'm gonna try to move to the page again, and you can see we have now here sign in to process payments. If I click here sign in, we're gonna move to the sign in page, and here I'm gonna click here continue with Google. Okay, and if I click continue with Google, we're gonna log in again, and again here we're gonna have the possibility to process the payment. Okay, now they are checking the row. Okay, now they redirect us on the dashboard as I am the admin. Okay, and this is the admin. Now I'm gonna move to the home page here. Okay, and here we are going to click here again view course, and you can see we have here the strap elements. Okay, and now we're gonna secure the page. You can see we have a free course and paid course. Okay, now we're going to run through these conditions in here. Now first we're gonna check if the course is free. We aren't gonna check for the payment. We aren't gonna log chapters. But also we are going to hide strap elements. Okay, you can see in here we have a course which is free. If I scroll to the bottom here, you're gonna see this course is free. Okay, and as this course is free, we're gonna hide the strap element because we don't need to prompt the user to pay the course. Okay, but if the course is free, if the course is paid, we're gonna prompt the user to pay the course. Okay, now if the course is paid, we're gonna check if the users pay the course. If not, log chapters, show strap elements. Okay, else unlock chapters, hide strap elements. These are the conditions that we're going to run through. Okay, guys, now we're going to head into the courses folder, and in here we're going to create another endpoint. So we're going to name it check chapters, check course status. Okay, that is, and now I'm going to copy everything into the single course endpoints, and I'm going to put it into the check course status. Okay, in here. Now let me copy my conditions. I'm gonna copy everything in here. Yeah, we're gonna copy that because we're gonna use that. Okay, we're gonna put it into this endpoint check course status. Okay, in here, let me pass that here. I'm gonna comment this because we may need that later. Okay, now let me comment this line, and in here we are retrieving the course by using the slug. And okay, if we don't find the course, we're gonna throw this, we're gonna send this message, we're gonna pass here course not found. Okay, and here let me remove that here, and here I'm gonna check here if the course that status is equal to 3. We are going to create here a constant and say let log chapters, okay, is equal to false. We are going to say the value is gonna be false. It's gonna stay false. Okay, false here. Okay, if we're gonna add here another condition. If the course that status is equal to paid here, if it's equal to paid, we are going to do this. If the course status is equal to paid, we are going to check here. We are going to check if the user has paid the course. We're gonna use here, we're gonna need here the course ID, and we're gonna need here the user ID. Okay, now I'm going to continue. We're gonna pass here const payment data. Okay, and we're going to pass here and pass here a weight. Okay, we're gonna pass here with Prisma. Okay, and we're gonna pass here payment that found first, and we're gonna pass here where. We're gonna pass here where user ID, and here is equal to user ID. Okay, and we're gonna pass here the course ID is equal to the course dot ID, like this. Okay, like this. We are going to send here the user ID. Okay, and here we send only here. Yeah, we're gonna send here. We send here only the slug, but also we're gonna send the user ID, and here I'm passing user ID and pass here query that user ID, and I'm gonna set it as string. Okay, that's it. And in here now we're gonna check if the user has paid the course. Okay, and here we're gonna check here if payment data. Okay, it means the user has paid the course. Okay, we're gonna pass here. We have here log chapters. We're gonna pass it in here, and we're gonna say is equal to false. Else here, if we don't found, yeah, we're gonna say if it's undefined, we don't found here the user. It means the user they haven't paid the course. Okay, we are going to pass it true. Else false. Log chapters. We're gonna pass here false, like this. Okay, now let's continue, and I'm gonna click here for merge documents. Okay, yeah, like this, and then we are going to return the log chapters variable. We're gonna pass it in here. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, we just finished. If we just run through all these conditions. Okay, if the course is free, we are going to send log chapters is equal to false. Okay, if the course is paid, we are going to check if the user has paid the course. Okay, if not, we are going to send here false. Here we're gonna say log chapters is equal to true. Okay, else it means the user has paid the course. We found here the user, and we're gonna say here log chapters is equal to false. Okay, now we're gonna continue. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to head into the browser. We have here composable use fetch course. Okay, and this is the composable use fetch courses. And what I'm going to do in here, guys, I'm gonna use the composable. We have here a function fetch single course. Okay, now I'm gonna use the function. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna duplicate it, and I'm now passing another function. I'm gonna pass here fetch course status. Okay, and here we're gonna pass here the slug, and for the endpoints we're gonna modify here. We are going to pass here check course status. That's what we pass in here inside the saver folder. Check course status. Let me check in here, guys. If you scroll down at the bottom, you're gonna see this is the name of the endpoint. Let me do this. You can see the name of the endpoint is check course status. Okay, and in here we're gonna send also the user ID. And here, let me check if we have here the user composable, because we need to retrieve the user ID. We don't have it in here. Okay, and I can just do this. Let me do this. I can just pass here cons user. Okay, it is equal to user composable. Okay, and we are going to copy that, and we are going to pass here user ID, and we're gonna pass here user that value that ID like this. And now I'm going to create here another variable at the top here. Let me name it pass a cons check course status data. Okay, and we're going to get here, let me check here and pass a ref, pass here, we're gonna get here an empty object. Okay, now let me check here the data here at the bottom. We're gonna get here, we're gonna need only the status. Okay, I'm gonna remove here the course. We're gonna need only this object right here, log chapters. Okay, it's gonna be an empty object. Okay, now let's check here. We are going to go back into the use fetch composable, and I'm gonna copy this variable. We are going to pass it into the fetch course status function. Okay, now I'm gonna do this. I'm copy that here is equal to data.value, and yeah, we just finished. Now we're gonna copy that function fetch course status. We're gonna pass it to the return statements. Okay, so that we're gonna get access to it. Yeah, like this. Okay, and now let's head into the vehicles folder, and we're going to call a function here. And here I'm pass here fetch single course. Okay, and here I'm going to pass it at the top here and pass here await. Okay, await, and then we're gonna pass here course store like this, that, and then we're gonna pass here fetch course status. We're gonna pass here the slack here. Let me see the slack. We have here roots. Let me see roots here. We're going to copy that, and then we're gonna pass it to the fetch course status in here, and we're gonna extract this property right here. You can see we have this property. We are going to copy it, which is the check course status data. I'm gonna pass it in here too. Okay, now let's go back in here, and then we're gonna retrieve it. Okay, I'm gonna pass it in here, and now we are going to check what we're gonna get and pass it after the swap elements. Okay, and pass it in here, and I'm gonna pass here a viv, a condition viv, and we're gonna pass it check course status, pass status data, and then pass here log chapters. If the value is equal to false, we are going to hide the swap elements. Okay, now I'm gonna remove that here, and yeah, you can see actually we're gonna hide it. Okay, now let me refresh the page in here, and you can see it disappear. Now I'm going to move to the admin page here, and I'm going to create a course which is paid. You can see actually this course right here is a paid course. Okay, now let me move here. Yeah, you can see, let me check how to use Redux effectively. Okay, yeah, this is a free course too. Now we are going to move in here, and as the admin pass admin /dashboard, we're gonna move to the admin in here, and in here I'm gonna create a paid course. Okay, now I'm gonna click here and how to use. Okay, we're gonna say build a real-time collaboration. Okay, this is the course, and I'm gonna select here the category and pass here JavaScript and pass here paid, and click here create. Okay, we're gonna have the course right here, build a real-time collaboration app. We're gonna click here edit, and we are going to add here chapters and video. Okay, yeah, we don't move to the page. Seems we got an error. I'm gonna refresh the page in here, And then you can see actually got an error, reading properties of undefined reading length. And here we are going to head into the page here. We have here another root parameter, and it's located into the course folder. And we pass here somewhere, we pass here length. You can see chapters is undefined, okay? And here I'm passing option chaining. If something is undefined, we pass in, we call here this function, we are going to get an error. And here is a pass here undefined. We are going to remove the error. You can see that's why it's better to pass undefined, okay? And here, let's go back in here. If I move here and I click again here, we aren't gonna get the error, okay? The error disappear, and you can see actually the course right here is free. Okay, let me edit it. Yeah, I just select here, this course should be paid. Let me modify here and say this course is gonna be paid, and the category is JavaScript, and I pass here $20, and we're gonna click here update. And now we don't refresh the page again. Let me check here again, and I'm gonna click here edit. The status doesn't change. Now let's fix that. And here you can see we pass here course status. It seems when we are making an HTTP request to the update endpoint, we don't update the course status, okay? And here I'm heading to course model, okay, course model. And here we have course status, okay? We pass here the status, pass the value, and we pass here the course inputs. Now I'm gonna copy that, and I'm going to pass the edit tab here to see what we are sending to receive, okay? Pass the course inputs, and this endpoint we call a function here, create updates. We are going to head into the use create course updates, and we are going to create this endpoint. Yeah, we have here an endpoint that we use in order to update, okay? Update. Okay, and now here I'm passing here update the tiers, and here you can see we have here update. We don't pass here the status, that's why we don't update it, okay? And here for the course here, let me check edit tab. Here, this is the endpoint in order to update the course. And here I'm passing here the status, and here we're gonna pass here the status because we're gonna send it, okay? Now here we are going to extract to the status here, okay? Pass here the status here, and also we have here an endpoint. In order to create the course, we're gonna extract to the status. I'm gonna extract it right here, and here too we're gonna pass here the status, okay? This is the status. Now we're gonna click here again, edit. And in here, we are going to click here, edit, and you can see in here, we have the possibility to edit this course. And now if I pass here paid, we are going to modify that. I'm gonna click here, update. And now you can see, we just update this course, but we don't refresh this data. If we move to this courses page and I click here, you're gonna see we have here paid now. Now I'm going to add here at the tab a button that we're gonna use in order to refresh this data. Now I'm going to head in here, and we are going to head into the course table, and I'm gonna copy this button. We're gonna pass it into the course folder. We are going to scroll down. We're gonna pass it at the top of the car, and on click events, we are going to pass here a sync, and then I'm gonna call here a function. Okay, I'm pass here a wait. I'm going to cap this function, fetch single course data, fetch single course. I'm gonna cap this. We are going to pass it right here. Okay, and let me check if we extract the fetch loading property in here. Yeah, we extract it, and then we are going to refresh the table. And also, I noticed something, guys. You can see if we click here, let me pass here first a sync like this, sync, yeah, like this. If you notice in here, guys, let me refresh the page. You can see if I click here, you can see we don't pass here some data. I'm click here, edit again, edit. You can see we don't pass here the category, okay? And here we should see here the category. Once we click here, we need to show here the category, okay? Now, in order to show the category there, you can see we have here the show edit model. I'm gonna pass it if property course data, okay, course data, and then I'm going to pass here this, pass here this, pass here course, okay, is equal to course, and pass here course data, okay, like this. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass here the single course data object and copy it. And then you can see we have here show edit model function, okay. Now I'm gonna remove this property, remove all of that here, and then we're gonna pass it a single property, okay, this object, okay. I'm copy it, we are going to move here, and then we are going to pass here course data that course like this, okay, and then we are going to pass the course that ID. We're gonna check if it's undefined, and we're gonna copy that again. We're going to pass it in here. We're gonna pass to the course input that valid that ID. We're gonna pass the course ID. We're gonna pass here the title. We're gonna pass here the price, okay, and we need to pass also the category ID. We didn't do that. You can see the status. Copy it, we're gonna pass it in here, edit, and now we're gonna pass it for the price. We're gonna pass it 25, and yeah, we update it, and let's click here. Yeah, we don't pass the data, and now let me check here where we don't pass the data. I'm going to, yeah, I know why we don't return data. You can see when we just finish updating this course and we click here, we don't get data since we are fetching data with a Slack by Slack, okay. And here, if we head into this endpoint here and pass update courses /updates, you can see this is the endpoint, and in here we are modifying the Slack, and we use the Slack in order to fetch data. That's why we don't have the update, okay. And now I'm gonna click here again, courses, and we are going to try it again to update the course. And again, we're gonna click again on update, and we're gonna see what we're gonna get, okay. Now let's click here, edit, okay, we got data. I'm gonna click here, update. For the price, we're gonna pass it 27, and so I'm gonna click here, update. Now I'm gonna refresh here. Yeah, we got here 27, it works. And because we don't modify the Slack again. And now what I'm going to do, this course is paid, and also we are going to hide this data here that we pass into the course model. If we head into the course model, you can see we pass the course input right here. I'm gonna remove it, and let me remove it right here, and we are going to add also a chapter for this course here. I'm click here, pass introduction, and pass here introduction like this, and then we're gonna click here create. Yeah, this is an issue again, okay. We know that this course has a single chapter, and you can see that actually we fetch other chapters, okay, for other courses. Now we're gonna fix that. Now to fix that, we are going to move in here. You can see we have here, we are going to head into the chapter model and pass the chapter model, okay. This is an issue. And in here, we call the function fetch chapters, okay, create update chapter. And here we call a function fetch chapters, okay. Now we are going to head into the use fetch chapters, okay, use fetch chapters, okay. And in here, you can see for the fetch chapters, we pass it the ID here, which is the course ID. Chapter, we are going to pass here this, we have here chapter input. And you can use the chapter input to get access to the ID, okay. Now pass here this chapter input that value that course ID like this, okay. And I'm going to check here. Let me go back in here, and I'm gonna try to check here something. Create update chapter, use create or update chapter, and in here. Okay, everything is okay in here. Now let's try to create a chapter again. I'm going to move to courses, and then I'm click here edit, we're gonna pass here setup projects for the second chapter. I'm gonna click here create, and you can see we have here setup projects, and we don't fetch all chapters into the chapters table. Okay, now if I click here, we need to pop up the model. You can see actually we don't show up the button that we use in order to upload a video for a chapter. We don't show the button. Okay, I'm gonna click here again, and you can see actually they show the button here. Now if I click here, yeah, we pop up the model. Let me click here again. Okay, now I'm gonna click here add video, and here we're gonna upload a video for this chapter, and we are going to pick here a video. I'm going to select this one here, quick test, and then I'm gonna click here upload video. Yeah, okay, we video uploaded successfully. Okay, we just uploaded a video for this chapter, and now let me refresh here this page and see what we're gonna get. Yeah, we don't update here chapters. For the chapters too, I'm going to pass you another function. We are going to head into the page, and you can see we call fetch single quotes data. I'm going to wrap that into a function and pass a function update page, and pass update page data. Okay, like this, and then we're gonna pass in this, and we're gonna copy this function. We are going to pass it at the bottom. When we are going to mount this page to the DOM, we're gonna call that function. Okay, and I'm gonna pass it to this button right here. I'm gonna upload a thumbnail, and then I'm gonna pick an image here. I'm gonna get into here, and then I'm going to select this one. Okay, and then we're gonna click here upload image. Okay, image uploaded. And now if we click here on this button to refresh the data here, yeah, you can see actually pass here the data. Okay, now if I move here to courses, okay, I'm going to let me refresh the entire page again and see what we're gonna get. And now we have a paid course. Now I'm going to pass here again local course and pass here 3,000, and then we're gonna tap enter. We're going to move to the home page. Okay, and in here you can see actually we have a paid course. Okay, and build a real-time collaboration app. Okay, you can go check it out. This video, guys, is on our channel. I'm gonna click here view courses. Okay, and in here, as this is a paid course, we are going to check if the user has already paid this course. If the user haven't already paid this course, we are going to show the strap elements. Okay, you can see actually we show the strap elements. Now we are going to add also something in here. As the user haven't already paid this course, we are going to hide these chapters. Okay, we are going to lock these chapters. Okay, that's what I'm going to do in here, and we are going to head into inside the view course folder. Okay, and in here you can see at the bottom here we have course chapters, and this is the components, and we are going to pass it this object. Okay, we're gonna pass it this object right here that we pass to the Viv check course status data. I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass it in here. Pass it in here. We're gonna add it as a prop. Okay, let's head into the course chapters. Okay, course chapters, and then we are going to pass it right here. Okay, I'm gonna add it here. You can see I'm gonna pass it as a prop here, and then we are going to pass it an object, and I'm gonna add here type. Let's go back in here, and then I'm going to copy this type right here. Let me scroll down a little bit. We have here the log chapters property. You're gonna see the type is gonna be a boolean for this. Okay, pass here type is boolean. Okay, and now what I'm going to do in here, you can see we have here the image. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass here the log icon, and in here we are going to pass here a condition and pass here if. Okay, and we're gonna pass here check course status, and then we're gonna pass a check course status data that chapters and pass here log chapters. Okay, and we're gonna pass here vls. If the value is equal to true, we are going to show the log icon. Okay, and here we are going to copy these events in here. We are going to pass it here and pass a function show I'm pass here show video chapter. Okay, we can pass here fetch video chapter. Pass here fetch video chapter. Okay, and we're gonna pass here the chapter as parameter, and then I'm passing this, and we're going to copy it. We're gonna pass it to this event here, and we are going to tap it. You can see in this component we use tap script. I did this to show you how to tap component. Okay. And now we're going to head into chapter type. You can see this is the type. We are going to copy that here, and I'm passing even an interface I chapter. Okay, and then we're gonna pass this object. We're gonna copy the I chapter. We're gonna pass it in here, and now we are going to export also this interface, and we're gonna use it into the course chapter. Okay, and now I'm gonna pass it here. Okay, to remove this typing error. Okay, yeah, like this. Okay, and I can just import it. Okay, yeah, like this. Okay, everything is okay. And here I'm going to make a check in here, and I'm pass here this cons lock, and here I'm pass here props here, and we're gonna pass here check course status data. That, and we're gonna pass here log chapters, and we're going to check if the value is equal to true. If the value is equal to true, we aren't gonna fetch the video chapter. Okay, if the value is equal to true, a message show server error, and then we're gonna pass a message. This chapter is locked. Okay, you need to pay. Okay. And then I'm gonna pass here else. We are going to pass here this. We are going to fetch the chapter video. Okay, yeah, like this. Everything is fine here. And now, yeah, I'm gonna pass here this parameter and pass here chapter. Okay, to remove the error, this typing error right here. Okay, now let's try this. And if I click here setup, you can see this chapter is locked. You need to pay. And you can see the log chapters property is equal to true. Okay, now I'm going to remove here an issue into the view course folder. You can see at the beginning, if we come back to the home page and I click here again, you're gonna see at the beginning we have here 4 chapters. Okay, this is an issue, and you can see at the top here we fetch 4 chapters. We pass here fetch chapters, and this function we don't pass it a parameter, and since we don't pass the parameter, it's gonna retrieve all chapters. They're going to retrieve all chapters into the chapter table because we don't send the course ID. And now you can see again into the .then function we have here fetch chapters, and this one we pass the course ID, and this one we're gonna remove it because we don't need it. Okay, and now if we go here, move to the home page, and I click here view course, we can see we just fetch only 2 chapters. Okay, 2 chapters. And now if I click here, you can see actually we don't have the possibility to view this video, okay, of the chapter. Now you can see in here we have here an admin. Okay, and now we are going to log in a learner and try to see if a learner can make payments. And here if you head into the Clerk dashboard, you're gonna see we have here 3 users. Now let me see, yeah, 3 users. And the third one is an admin, because if you scroll down at the bottom here, you're gonna see the row is an admin. I'm gonna go back here, I'm gonna click to this one, you're gonna see the row is a learner. Okay, once we sign in a user, they give him a row of a learner. Okay, now what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to log in a learner and see if a learner can purchase a course. Now we are going to do this. I'm going to move here. Okay, I'm going to click here, and we are going to pass here log course, and then here pass here /sign-in, and we haven't already created a link. You can see in here, if I click here, sign out. Okay, in here we don't have the possibility to move to the sign-in page. In order to move to the sign-in page, I should pass here /sign-in. We are going to add the link. Now to add the link, we are going to head into the header component. We have here the header components, and in here I'm passing script tag. Okay, I'm passing setup, and then we are going to pass here cons. We're gonna extract user from use user composable provided by Clerk, and here I'm going to check here vif If a user is logged in, we are going to show this. VLs, we are going to pass here link. I'm gonna copy this one here, and then I'm pass it here, and I'm pass here sign in. Okay, sign in. Okay, and now let's see what we're gonna get. Now I'm gonna remove this, pass here for the class text more like this, and I can just pass here. Let me see what we got first here. Okay, you're gonna see. Let me refresh the page. You can see we have here sign in. Right here. Now I'm gonna pass here font bold, okay, like this, text blue 400. Okay, I'm gonna pass this one, and I'm pass here cursor. We're gonna pass here is equal to pointer. Okay, we're gonna have here a little end when we're gonna over the components. Okay, now let me check in here. Yeah, sign in, and now let me pass here the link. We are going to pass here /off/ let me pass here / sign in. Okay, like this, and we just finish sign in. Okay, if I click here, we move to the sign in page. Now let me head into in here, and you can see when we pass here this, I'm tap locals. Okay, and see what we're gonna get. Okay, and we have this page, and we have here sign in. If I click here sign in, you can see we have here a learner who is logged in. Okay, I'm gonna remove this, and then you can see in here we have here sign in. Okay, and the username is Chris, and we should hide this sign in link here, and we're gonna pass here VLs, and then we're gonna hide it because we have a user who's logged in. Okay, and you can see the name here is Chris, and Chris is a learner. And now if I try to move here, I'm gonna log out Chris. Okay, and then if I try to move to the /sign in, we're on the page here, and then here I'm going to click here continue with Google, and also I'm going to modify something in here. We are going to head into the check row middleware. Okay, and in here I'm going to comment this line because we don't use that page. We're gonna use this one. We're gonna pass here the base URL. If you are a learner, we are going to redirect you to the home page. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna pass it right here. Okay, if you are an admin, we are going to redirect you to the dashboard once you sign in. Okay, yeah, like this. Okay, let me head into in here. Okay, I'm gonna click here continue. Okay, and then you can see check off /row. They're going to redirect him on the home page. That's better. And now here we have a learner who's logged in. Now let's try to see if a learner can purchase this course. Okay, view course. Okay, we have here data. Okay, you can see if a learner try to click here, this chapter is locked. You need to pay. And here I'm passing here 42, 42. 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. Okay, 42. And I'm gonna pass you the year, the month, and then the year 27, and the car validation code. And now we're gonna click here pay. Okay, click here pay to process the payment. And then you can see payment processed successfully. And once here the payment finished, the payment pass, we are going to hide the strap element components, and we are going to remove this lock here. Okay, now let's try to see what we got into the strap dashboard, and then we're gonna check here if this user has purchased this course. Okay, now I'm gonna refresh this page. Okay, and in here too, we are going to remove this object right here. We are going to head into the view course folder. Let me head into the view course folder. We have here these objects. I'm gonna remove it, and also let me head into in here again. Okay, and now if I move here, I come back again in here, and we have right now we have the possibility to view the content. Okay, if I click here play, yeah, you can see we have the possibility to read this video. If I click here setup projects, for this chapter we don't have a video, and if an admin add it, we're gonna have it in here. Now pay to watch, I'm gonna remove this button because we don't use it. we are going to head into in here again, and we have the button. We're gonna remove that, we don't need it. And again, we are going to head into the strap elements, okay? And in here, what I'm going to do, once the payment pass here, okay, we are going to refresh the window. We're gonna pass here event method, I'm gonna pass here set timeout, okay, and then we are going to do window dot location dot reload, okay. We're gonna pass here this, and then we are going to pass here after 2 seconds. We are going to reload the page, and then here once we reload the page, the learner, if the learner has already purchased this course, he can't view the strap element, okay. Now if I click here, you can see, actually I can see that, okay, and I can watch all chapters, okay. That's cool, better. Now let's check if the payment is passed. We are going to head into within the first window in here, and you can see that the payment is passed successfully. We have here 27, and yeah, you can see this is the email of the learner, and yeah, the payment is passed successfully, okay. Now let's close the window right here. I'm gonna close it, and now what I'm going to do in here, we are going to sign in again in here, and we are going to log in again the admin, okay. And once we log in the admin, we are going to add here another menu where we can see all payments. And here I'm going to move in here. We are going to check for, we're going to look for this icon. You can look for currency dollar. You're going to tap here, even money, and then you're going to see this icon, okay. And in here, if we need to, instead of the admin page, okay, you can see we have here 2 menu, categories and courses. Now we're going to add another one. We're going to head into the menu right here, menu item. Okay, this is the menu item, and then I'm going to add here another menu, okay. Yeah, you can see, and here we have the categories, courses and categories. Now I'm going to pass here another menu. I'm going to copy that. We're going to pass here, let me check here first. Yeah, what we have here, okay, we have here 2 menu, courses and categories, okay. Now let me copy this. We're gonna pass here another one. We're gonna name it like this. We're gonna pass here payments, okay, payments, and we are going to copy here an icon. We have it right here. You can see this one. I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna pass it in here, this SVG tag, okay, like this. We're gonna have here payments, and yeah, okay, like this. Now we are going to refresh the window right here and see what we're gonna get in here. Let me refresh a little bit and see if we're gonna have here another menu, which is payment. Yeah, we don't display the menu right here, guys. We're going to come back in here and we're gonna fix something. Let me check here, and we have here components, okay, and yeah, let me look for, we're going to look for admin, okay, and this is the admin layer, and in here is, let me check here, edit tab, okay, and we pass here categories, this is the menu, okay, and in here, in order to display this menu, we should copy this, and we're gonna pass here, and we're gonna pass here payment, okay, like we did for the categories menu and for the courses. I'll copy that. We're gonna pass here right now. I'm pass at the bottom here at the top. We're gonna pass the payment, okay, like this, and we're gonna copy the icon. We're gonna pass it in here. That's cool. Now let's check to see if we are going to display the menu. Okay, yeah, we have here payments at the top. Now we're gonna display also the dashboard. We're going to pass here the dashboard menu and pass the charts. And if I pass the charts, we're gonna see this icon right here. Okay, let me copy this one and copy this one, and we're going to head into again the menu item, and we're going to head into in here. We're gonna pass it right here and pass here. Now I'm gonna copy this. We're gonna pass it right here, and we're gonna name this menu dashboard like this. Now let's head into the admin.view file, and in here we are going to copy. Let me copy this and pass it at the bottom. And for the dashboard, we're gonna pass at the top dashboard. Okay, we're gonna copy this name, we're gonna pass it in here, and we're going to right click and format this document. And here you're gonna see we're gonna have here the dashboard, categories, courses, and also we have here payments. Now let me move to categories. Okay, courses. Now let's work on the payment page. Okay, we haven't yet created payment page here. We are going to head into the pages folder. Okay, scroll down, pages folder, admin, and here we have courses. Okay, I'm gonna pass here another page, which is the payment, the view, and we're going to head into the categories, and we're gonna copy everything from here, and we're gonna put it into the payment. Okay, pass this, and I'm gonna remove everything in here, and we have here the model. We're gonna remove it, and we're gonna pass here payments like this. And we are going to create also another table. We are going to head into the component folder, and in here we have a folder right here, category, and we're gonna copy everything into the category table. Copy that, and we're going to create also another folder, which is the payment, where we're gonna put in all payments related to the payment page. Payments. Okay, we have here payment folder into the we have here payment folder into the components, and we have in swap elements, and here we're gonna pass here payment table, payment table, the view, and we're gonna pass in this content, and in here we're gonna pass here the ID. Pass here, let me check here, we're gonna pass here the let me check. We are going to pass here some column like amount. Okay, let me check here. We're going to pass the Prisma schema, and then I'm gonna check column. We're gonna pass the course name. Okay, we're gonna pass here user ID, username. We're gonna display the username, and which is, we're gonna say this is gonna be a learner. We're gonna pass here the amount and the status, and we're gonna pass also the created it. Okay, these are the columns that we're gonna pass to the payment table. Okay, now let's go back in here and pass this. We're gonna pass here course. Okay, this is the purchase course. We're gonna pass here the learner. I'm gonna pass here username, and we're gonna pass here, after the username we have here the amount, and we're gonna pass here the status. Okay, and the date. Okay, and now what I'm going to do in here, I'm gonna pass to this component a prop, and I'm gonna remove this, and then pass here payments like this, and it's gonna be an array. We're gonna iterate through it. Let's, for the button, we can, for the button here, I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, or I can just let that. I'm not, for the button right here, I'm not do this, comment this, and then I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove the events in here, and then pass the payment right now. Okay, and now we can just I'm gonna just comment this, and if we need that, we are going to uncomment it later. Okay, and now we're going to pass here payments. We have here this button in order to pop up the model. We're gonna remove it, and we're gonna pass here payments like this, payments in payments like this, and we're gonna copy that. We're gonna pass it in here, and here we're gonna pass here. We're going to remove here that, and I'm gonna remove this column right here, and then I'm passing empty column 1, 2, 3 like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and here we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and okay, that's it. Now let's head into the payment page here, and we're gonna import this payment table and pass here payment table like this. Okay, and then we're going to pass it some prop here. Okay, I'm gonna remove this, and we're going to pass here save a data. We're gonna pass a payments, payments, and it's gonna be save data that payments like this. Now we're going to head into the payment composable, and inside of it we're gonna creating a function in order to retrieve payments data from the server. And we have here use fetch. Okay, use fetch. Yeah, we have here use fetch courses for the payment. We don't have it in here. Use fetch courses, use upload chapter. Yeah, we have here payments, and in here I'm going to, let me head into the, in here we have here function in order to create a payment. Now we're gonna head into this folder right here, use create update category. We have it right here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna copy this function, and we are going to pass into the use payments, pass at the top here, and we are going to modify here. We're gonna say fetch payments like this with an S, and we're gonna create this property. We're gonna pass a const load, const fetch loading. Default value, we're gonna assign it false here. Okay, like this, false. And we are going to pass here the endpoint. We're going to head into the payment folder. Let me check here into the server folder. Yeah, server folder. You have a payment. We're gonna head into inside the payment folder, and we're going to pass here payment. Yeah, I'm pass here payment. Okay, like this. You can pass here payment. In order to give payment, we're gonna pass here these endpoints. Okay, .ts. Yeah, like this. And now let's finish with this function fetch payment. We're gonna copy that. We're gonna pass it to the return statement, and so that we're gonna get access to it. And also we're gonna copy the server data. We're gonna pass it to the return statement. Okay, that's cool. And yeah, now let's go back into the payment TS. And in here, we are going to copy. Let's get into the courses, and I'm not getting to in here. I'm going to copy content, everything from this file, and we're going to put it into the payment TS. Okay, in here. And in here, we are going to pass, I'm going to remove that. We're going to pass here payments, and we are going to pass here payments. Okay, payments like this, find many. And here we're gonna pass here. Yeah, we need to use the pagination. Okay, we can get into even into the, we are going to head into the courses. You can see we have get.ts, and instead of this file we use pagination. Okay, now I'm going to copy everything in here, and I'm gonna put it into the payment.ts, and yeah, like this. And now let's remove here something that we aren't gonna use. And yeah, we aren't gonna use filters. Yeah, I'm gonna remove all filters in here. I'm gonna remove all of this. I'm gonna stay with search. I'm gonna remove here limit. We're gonna stay with the page and limit. Okay, we're gonna remove that, and we're gonna pass the payment like this. Okay, and we're going to remove the where clause because we need to fetch all data into the payment table, and we're gonna remove here. We're gonna pass here course. Okay, now we're going to head into the Prisma schema. We're gonna add in a relationship. Okay, let's head into the Prisma schema, and then you're gonna see in here something. You can see in here inside the payment table, we have the course ID and user ID. And now what I'm going to do in here, I'm gonna add a relation here. I'm gonna copy this line, and then I'm pass it in here. We're gonna say a payment can have is a course. Okay. And here I'm passing course, and then I'm passing course model. Okay, and we're gonna pass here course ID. Okay, I'm going to copy this line here and pass it right here. We're gonna pass here now payment like this, and we're gonna pass here payment model. Okay, like this, and then we're gonna remove the error. Okay, yeah, something like this. And now we're going to create the migration. Okay, now in order to create the migration, we're going to type here npx prisma. I'm going to pass here npx prisma migrate and dev dash name. We're going to pass add relation to payment Okay, we can say add relation to payment, and then we're going to type enter, and this is going to be the name of the migration. And now let's go back into the payments endpoint and pass payments. And in here, we're gonna include the course. I'm gonna remove that. And for the count right here, I'm gonna remove the word clause like this. Okay, and we're going to pass here course. We're gonna pass here payments like this. And we just finished. If you have an error, we're gonna say failed to fetch payments. Okay, failed to fetch payments. Okay, like this. And we're gonna type here npm run dev, and we're going to try this endpoint. Okay, we're gonna pass here the endpoint, and yeah, we got an error, failed to fetch payments. Okay, that's what we're gonna see if we got an error. Okay, and here we should pass here payments like this. Okay, payments like this, and here too we're gonna pass here payments. And so now let's check this and see what we're gonna get here. And we're going to head into the network tab. Yeah, you can see actually got data. Seems we get rid of the error. You can see we have the data here, and we have here the ID, the course ID. Let me zoom a little bit. The course ID, user ID, custom ID. Okay, and we have here this object. We can get access to the ID of the course, to the category of the course, user ID, Slack, status, description. Okay. And now, what if you want to get access only to the, let's say, to the course ID and the name? You can see we have here course, and here I'm passing here this. We're gonna pass here select, and here I'm gonna pass here select, and here we're gonna pass here the ID, and then we're gonna pass here true, and we're gonna select only the ID like this, and you can pass here the title, and I'm passing true. Okay, and now let's try this, and you're gonna see it's better to do that because we don't need all this input right here. We don't need the category ID, the user ID, Slack, status. We only need the ID and title. And if we refresh again, we're gonna remove all of these properties. You're gonna see, yeah, you can see in here we have the ID and title. And guys, you can go into your code and try to optimize your query. It's better to optimize queries, okay? And you're gonna do that for other endpoints. Okay, now I'm gonna continue. We are going to head into the use payments composable, and then we are going to get access to the data. Okay, and here, if I scroll to the bottom here, we use pagination here. Okay, now let's head into the use payments. Okay, in here. And we are going to create right here. You can see we have this function fetch payments, and we're gonna implement pagination for it. Okay, now let's head into the use fetch courses, and we have here some property like page limit. We're gonna copy that and put it to the payment, into the use payment. We're gonna pass it in here. We don't need to write that. We're gonna go back in here. We're gonna copy this function. We're gonna put it into the use payments, the tab. And we'll pass paginate courses. We're gonna pass a paginate payments. Okay, payments like this, and we're gonna pass here fetch payment, and yeah, fetch payments. And let's go back into the use fetch courses, and here we have here limit. We pass data. I'll copy that, and we're gonna go back into the use payments, and we're going to pass it right here. Okay, and limit the value. Data that file that metadata that limits. Okay, like this, pass the value, and we're gonna copy this function. We're gonna pass it to the return statement right here. Okay, like this. Okay, and yeah, we just finished. Now we need to head into the courses page. We're gonna copy in a composable, a component. You can see we have here pagination. We're gonna copy that, and because we're gonna pass it to the payment table. Okay, and this is a payment table, and here we're gonna pass here this. Okay, we're gonna pass here the template tag, and here we're gonna pass here save a data like this. Let's go back into the courses and see. Yeah, we pass here save a data at courses, and for payment we're gonna pass save a data that's payment. You can see for this endpoint we have here a payment property, payments like this. And that's all we're gonna pass to the array. Okay, now let's go back into the payments page, pass here payment, and we're gonna pass here this like this. And also we're going to head into the payment table. We're gonna pass in a slot, and so that we are going to have the possibility to display these the pagination components. Okay, let's first import here the payment store. We can head into the strap elements and we importing the payment store. Yeah, you can see we have a payment store. I can just copy that and we're gonna pass it right here. Okay, pass it right here. Okay, and yeah, and here we're gonna pass here this payment store. Okay, payment store, that's, and here paginate payments like this. And now let's head into the payment table, and we are going to pass here the slot. We're gonna scroll down at the bottom here, and I'm gonna pass here a div. Okay, and here we're gonna pass here a slot. Okay, pass a slot. Okay, and now we are going to iterate through the array right here. This is the array, and we're gonna pass here v4 payments. In payments, we're gonna pass here this, pass here payments, that, and pass the option chaining that course. Yeah, let's see here for the object, we're gonna pass here course.title. Okay, and we have here the username. I can pass here user ID, and we're gonna pass it in here. Let me check here, user ID. Okay, we're gonna pass here, I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna pass here that user ID. Okay, like this, and we're gonna continue. We're gonna pass the amount. I'm gonna copy this, and we are going to pass here, let me check, we're gonna pass the amount and status. Okay, pass here amount, and we're gonna pass here the payment that status like this. Now let's go back into the payment page, and we're gonna call the fetch payments function, and we're gonna pass here the server data. And yeah, like this, we just finished. Let me check here something into the use payments, and yeah, for the endpoint, yeah, we pass here admin. We should pass here API /payment/payments like this. And now let's check here. Yeah, we are going to move here, and now I'm gonna move here courses. We're gonna go back in here. Okay, let's refresh the page and see if we're gonna pass the table, the data. Okay, yeah, we have the data. Let me go to the payments here, and we're gonna remove here that. And okay, now let's check here. Yeah, you can see course, how to manage states in view free app, and we're gonna pass it the user ID. We're gonna pass it in there. Yeah, we have the user ID. Okay, yeah, we're gonna pass the user ID, and for the status here, I'm gonna pass here a badge here. I'm going to go here. We are going to move to the payment table, and we have here the status, and also we're gonna pass here the date, and for the date, we're gonna pass here created at. Okay, and here we have here the user ID. I'm gonna remove this, I'm gonna do this. And for the payment status, you can just pass your span tag. Okay, and then I pass the class of BG. Yeah, I'm gonna pass the BG. Yeah, I'm passing BG green. Okay, and I'm passing 300. I'm passing rounded. We're gonna pass the rounded MD. Padding in x-axis, I'm passing 1. Padding in y-axis, I'm passing 1. Okay, and now let's see what we're gonna get here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let me refresh the page again. Yeah, you can see we have this. For I'm gonna pass here rounded empty. Okay, rounded empty. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, now let's check again. We're gonna refresh the page here. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we just finished here, guys. We have here payment page. We have here all courses which is being purchased. Okay, and the user ID, the amount, status, and the date. For the amount, for the amount, we're gonna pass here a function. We have a function format amount. You can see this is the function. We're gonna use it there, and I'm going to copy it. We're gonna pass into the payment table. Okay, and pass it in here, format amount, and the payment amount is a string, is a string, and pass it parse, now pass here parse float. Okay, and then we're gonna convert it into a number, yeah, like this, and then we're gonna display here a formatted amount. Okay, yeah, let me check here, yeah, like this. That's cool. And we just finished in here. Now we're gonna work on the dashboard. Okay, all right guys, now we're gonna work on the dashboard, and in here we are going to add here a simple design again, as we did. And I'm gonna remove that. So we're gonna paste this simple design. Okay, you can see it's pretty straightforward, guys. We have here total earnings and total payments. Okay, and so we're gonna get this. Yeah, let me refresh the page here. You can see we have here total earnings and total payments, and we have here at the bottom we have here a section where we're gonna put in the charts. And for the charts we're gonna use chart.js. Okay, and now you're gonna go ahead and tap this command in order to install it. Okay, I'm going to get into getting started. Okay, you're gonna see installation, and you're gonna tap npm install chart.js like you see in here. Okay, once done, we are going to head into the server folder. We're gonna create an endpoint in order to get data. Now I'm going to head into we are going to head into the server folder. Yeah, you can see we have here admin, and now I'm gonna create here a folder. I'm gonna name it dashboard. We're gonna put in all endpoints related to the dashboard and pass here dashboard like this. And we're gonna create here a file. We're gonna name it dashboard data.ts. This is the endpoint. Okay, now in here we are going to head into the payments folder. I'm gonna copy everything in here, and I'm gonna put it into the dashboard data. Okay, and we are going to get rid of something in here. Let's remove this here, we don't need that, and I'm gonna get rid of this data here. Okay, failed to fetch dashboard and pass dashboard data. We're gonna pass here, this is a message. Okay, and in here we're gonna pass in an endpoint. We're gonna pass in a query. Okay, we're going to pass here, I'm gonna stay with this one. We're gonna pass here total payment. Yeah, you're gonna see in here we have something like, I'm not getting to inside of our app. We have here total payments. We're gonna use this for total payments. Okay, this query, and here we need to aggregate here the amount into the payment table. Okay, and here I'm pass here a function. We're gonna pass here, I'm gonna remove this. Okay, and some pass here aggregates. Okay, and pass a comma, and we're gonna use the aggregates in order to get the total amount. Okay, you can see this is how we're gonna use it. Okay, I'm pass here, I'm gonna copy this, and we're gonna use the sum. I'm pass here an object like this, and we're gonna pass here underscore sum. Okay, and we're gonna pass here the amount. Okay, like this. This is the column that we need to get the total sum of it. Okay, now I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna format this document, and here you're gonna pass here total earning, total amount. Okay, like this. And for we're gonna pass it total, and yeah, we're gonna pass, let me check here. Yeah, we're gonna pass it total payment. Okay, like this, and total payments like this. And so we are going to copy this data. We're gonna pass it to the return statement. Okay, like this. Now let's try out this endpoint. We're going to get into the browser, and in here we're gonna pass here this and pass here localhost. We're gonna pass here 3000 as the ports, and some pass here API /admin /pay and pass here payment. Yeah, we're gonna get into the dashboard and pass here dashboard and dashboard data. And so we're gonna add here, and we're gonna get there. Okay, now let's check in here. You can see we have here the total amount, which is 59, and the total payments we got free here. Now we are going to head into the composable folder. We're gonna create in a function in order to get data. Now let's head into the composable folder. In here you can see we have a composable, and we have a payments, and I can just create here another folder to make things clean. You can pass the dashboard. Okay, and I'm not heading to, yeah, we're gonna rename the folder and pass it dashboard, And now let's head into the dashboard folder. We're gonna pass a use fetch dashboard. We're gonna rename it like this, use dashboard, and so we're gonna use the composable in order to get data from the safe. Okay, now we are going to export the composable, pass here export function, and we're gonna pass here use dashboard, and we're gonna pass here a function. Okay, like this. Now we're going to head into the course folder, and we're gonna copy in a function. Now let's copy this one right here. I'm going to copy this one here, and then we are going to put it into this folder. Let me copy this entire function, and I'm putting it into the use dashboard. Okay, in here I'm putting in here, and we're gonna pass here fetch dashboard data. Okay, like this. Now we're gonna copy the function. We're gonna pass the return statement like this. Okay, and we are going to pass. We're gonna create a loading property. We're gonna pass here false as default value, and here we're gonna get rid of the flag. And for the endpoint, we're gonna grab it into in here. I'm gonna grab it, and we're gonna pass it in here. Okay, pass here this endpoint. Yeah, like this. Okay. Okay, API, okay, like this. Let me check here. Yeah, / okay, that's cool. It's gonna work. And so we're gonna get rid of the query here. Now remove the query, and here we need to create a variable. We're gonna store dashboard data, okay, and so we're gonna assign it an empty object. Okay, like this. Copy that. We're gonna pass it in here, and we're gonna assign data. Now we're gonna copy to this variable, and then we're gonna pass it the return statements. Yeah, like this. Okay, that's cool. We just finished in here. Now we need to use this composable into a Pinner store. Now if we head into the store folder, I'm gonna scroll down here, and you can see we have a stores. Now we're gonna create here now a folder. We're gonna name it dash and pass it dashboard like this. And now we're gonna head into the payment store. I'm gonna copy everything in here. We're gonna put it into the dashboard. Okay, and pass it dashboard store like this, the tiers. And now we're gonna put in the contents. We're gonna import in here this composable cons dashboard props. Okay, like this. Use dashboard. We're gonna pass it in here. I'm gonna copy that, pass it the return statement, and here we're gonna pass here use dashboard store, and we're gonna copy the name. We're gonna pass it to the accept automatic replacement, and I've already explained how the accept automatic replacement works, guys. Now I'm gonna pass here dashboard store, okay, for the name. We're gonna head into the dashboard file, and in there we are going to import in this Pinner store, okay, so that we're gonna have the possibility to get access to all properties exposed by the use dashboard composable. Now I'm gonna copy that. So we're gonna head into dashboard, and here I'm pass the cons dashboard store. Yeah, like this. Okay, dashboard store. Yeah, like this. And we're gonna pass here use dashboard store. Yeah, we're gonna pass here use dashboard store like this. And we're gonna use here store to ref to preserve the reactivity, and pass here we're gonna pass here dashboard data is equal to store to ref to preserve reactivity. Okay, we're gonna pass here dashboard store. Okay, dashboard store like this. I'm gonna copy this, and we're gonna pass it in here. That's cool. Now let's go ahead and go back into this composable where we put in this function use dashboard. Okay, and here we pass here the data. Okay, we're gonna go back in here, and I'm gonna pass in here. That's cool. It works. Now you can see, head into the browser, you can see this is the endpoint. We return here an object which is the total amount, and so we have here the sum. Now we're gonna get access to that, and here we're gonna pass here this, and pass here this, and pass here dashboard data, and then that you can see inside the browser we have here sum, and pass here sum like this, that, and let's check again that amount, and we have the total amount. That I'm pass here option chaining amount, and I'm gonna copy that, we're gonna pass it in here, and we're gonna pass here total amount. Okay, yeah, we pass here total amount, total payments. Yeah, I'm gonna copy that, which is the name of this property, total payment, and we're gonna pass it here. Okay, total payments. Okay, and then yeah, for this we are going to use a function in order to format this amount, which is format amount. We're gonna use this function. Okay, and this one here is a string and pass here parse float. Okay, like this, we're gonna pass in there. And now let's head into the browser, and we are going to check this. Let me call that function. We're gonna pass here a weight and some pass here that fetch. Yeah, we're gonna go back in here, we're gonna copy here this function, and we're gonna pass it right here, and we're gonna get data. Okay, now let's check this and see what we got here. Okay, we have here none for data. Okay, let me check here, pass the total amount like this, that sum, that amount. Okay, let's check again in here. We pass here. Okay, we made a mistake, guys. We should pass total amount first. Okay, that total amount, option chaining, that sum, that amount. Okay, now let's check again. Okay, we're gonna get data. Okay, now I'm gonna refresh the page here, and we are going to, yeah, we don't get data in here, guys. You can see actually we got here none. I don't know why we got none. Maybe I'm gonna get rid of this parse for float. We're gonna remove these parse floats, and let's see what we're gonna get here. Yeah, let me get rid of this function because we don't display data. Okay, I'll remove this function. Okay, we're gonna refresh again. Okay, we're gonna see what we're gonna get in here. Okay, I'm gonna move to categories, dashboards, and we don't pass data. Yeah, I don't know why. Let me copy that, and I'm going to pass it right here. Okay, pass it in here. We're gonna check. We're gonna pass the dashboard data, and you pass here total amount. Yeah, we forgot to pass. We have here typo. We should pass here t like this, and then we're gonna get data. Let me check again here. Yeah, we have the amount, and now we're gonna pass here parse floats to format this amount. Pass the format first, pass the parse floats, then we're gonna pass here the amount. Okay, now let's check in here. We're gonna refresh the page, and yeah, there we go. We just finished. We pass the amount. Now we're gonna integrate the charts into our app. We are going to move here, guys, and we're gonna import charts and registerables. The registerables is an array in charts that contains all the components and elements needed to make valid chart types. Okay, we have bar, line, and pie. And I've already read here this section for you guys about the integration. And if you want to learn more how to integrate it into another framework, you can come here and read here. Okay, you can see we have here React, Angular, and Vue.js, and so on. And in here we are going to, once we import these two lines here, we are going to import, we're going to create here a canvas element, and we're going to assign it ref. Okay, and we're going to set the height to 120. And then here, I'm going to pass this code. I've already done that for you. And you can see here, we have the chart ref. You can see this element here, this React property. And we use it in order to get access to the DOM element. Okay, you can see we pass it here in order to get access to this canvas. Okay, and then I create here another element. Let me show you, which is the chart instance. And then we have here prop, an object, which is the chart data. And we have here label. We're going to pass here dates. And we have here data. We are going to see how much money we earn on a given day. Okay. And here now we pass it the chart ref, which is this element right here, which is the canvas element. And then here we pass the chart ref, that value, that get context. We pass it 2D. And here we're going to check if the chart instance exists. If it exists, we're going to destroy it, and then we're going to create here another one. Okay, and we're going to use a bar chart. Okay, and on mount, when we're going to mount this component to the DOM, we're going to call the function. Now let's see how it looks like. Now we're going to move to the saver, and then we're going to feed data. Now we're going to head into the dashboard data.ts. This is the endpoint. And then here we're going to create here another query, Prisma.payment, group by date. And then we're going to get here the total amount by date. And here I'm pass here total amount. I'm pass here amount, total amount, amounts, okay, amounts by date, okay. Like this, we can pass it and pass total, total amount by date, okay, like this. And then we're gonna cap that, we're gonna pass it here. And now we're going to go ahead and here I'm gonna hit that again, that endpoint, and then you're gonna see we're gonna have your data, okay. Okay, yeah, you can see the saver is not available. Now we are going to, let me check here. Yeah, we got data. You can see this data. I'm gonna zoom a little bit, and you can see total amount by dates. And we are going to iterate through the array. Okay, and now I'm gonna copy that, and we are going to, let me copy everything in here. This is an array. I'm gonna copy that. Yeah, let me just do this. We have here sum and created it. Okay, now I'm gonna copy that and we're going to move here, guys. Okay, we're gonna go into dashboard view file, and in here you can see we have here labels, and for the label we're gonna pass here the date. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to iterate through the array. Okay, now here I'm gonna return here an array of dates. Okay, now I'm going to do this and pass here, let me copy here dashboard data. I'm gonna copy dashboard data. Yeah, I'm gonna copy that right here. Yeah, I can just create here constant and pass it here labels, pass the labels, and we're going to pass here dashboard data that value, and we're going to get access to the total amount by date. Okay, like this, and you can see we're going to iterate through the array and pass here map like this. Map, and we're going to pass here item. We are going to return here the date. Okay, and pass here new date. Okay, and here I'm going to format the date. You can see we're gonna pass here item and that created it. Okay, let's see what we're gonna get. Yeah, we have here created it, and we're gonna pass here to IOString and pass here that to IOString. Okay, like this, that split by t, and then we are going to select a formatted date. Okay, and now if I copy here, we are going to copy the label. We're going to copy the label and is an array. We are going to copy it and we're going to pass it right here. Okay, like this, and we have here, and we have also the amount here. And for the amount, we're going to create also another constant here. We're going to pass the dashboard data that value that total amount by date. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to pass it in here, total amount by date, like this. And we are going to iterate through the array. Now let's check here. We have here sum here. In order to get access to the amount, we're going to pass here sum that amount. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, and here I'm passing map again, map. Okay, we're going to pass here map, and I'm passing item. And here we're gonna pass here item dot. Okay, we're gonna pass here sum. Okay, that amount. Okay, like this. Okay, like this option chaining. And in here we're gonna return here the total amount. Okay, let me check here. And then let's check this. We're gonna copy this and we're gonna pass it in here. And now let's head into the browser and check this. I'm going to move here and I'm gonna refresh the page. We're gonna pass the data. Yeah, you can see that actually works pretty well. Okay, we just finished working on the dashboard. It works pretty well, guys, and we can see the total amount that we earn on a given day. That's cool. All right, guys, as we're just working on the dashboard page, now we're gonna secure all our endpoints. We haven't yet done that, okay? And this is what we're gonna finish with, okay? And then we're gonna start building our AI assistant, okay? And in here you can see this is the endpoints inside the categories folder that allows to return all categories that we got inside the categories table. And what I'm going to do, I'm not simply protect these endpoints because we have in here protect all our backend endpoints. Okay. Now what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to move it Google and we're gonna tap Clerk Nuxt session. Okay. And once done, you're gonna see this link right here. Protect pages in your Nuxt app with Clerk. Okay, click there, and once you click there, you're gonna move to the page here. Okay, and I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna scroll down, and yeah, we are going to move here. You can see read session and use data. Okay, click there and scroll down a little bit. You're gonna see this section here. You can see save aside. Okay, and this is the off object is available at events that contest that off in your event handlers. Okay, and we are going to use the line here in order to protect all our endpoints. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm gonna simply copy that and then I'm put it into this page here. Okay, and once we put it in here, we're gonna protect this page. Okay, and what if I remove it? Okay, let me show you the difference. And here, if I come here, I tap here this, pass the localhost, and then we're gonna pass the port 3000 and pass the API/admin. Okay, we're gonna get into the categories folder, get, and we are going to return here an array of categories. Okay, you can see we got it in here. Now I'm gonna pass here the protection and pass this, and you're gonna see if I tap here enter, we're gonna get data here. Okay. And what if I log out? Okay, now I'm gonna head into in here and I'm going to log out. You're gonna see what we're gonna get. Okay, now let me refresh right here our page because we don't see the user bar and components. We don't see it in here. Now I'm gonna refresh a bit. Let me see if my server is running. Okay, Nuxt4 server is built in. Okay, now let's check here. Now we're gonna have here the user button. Okay, yeah, we have here the user button is rendered, and now I'm gonna click here sign out. And once we sign out, you can see we're gonna try it again to eat that endpoint. Okay, now let's try it again. This is the endpoint that returns categories. Now I'm tap enter. You're gonna see what we're gonna get. Yeah, we got a server error. Okay, we don't get data, failed to get categories. Okay, and what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to, instead of returning here an error, instead of throwing an error, pass the return this, and then I'm pass the status code like this, and then we're gonna say here status code 401 status message unauthorized. Okay, like this, and then I'm gonna remove this. Okay, and now let's try again in here again. I'm gonna refresh the page in here. And you're gonna see what we're gonna get. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a function for the line here. Let me copy that. I'm gonna name it off guards. Okay, we are going to head into the util folder. Let's head into the util folder. Okay, we are going to move here, and then I'm gonna name it off guards. Okay, off guards. Okay, that's yes. Yeah, like this, and then I'm pass it in here. And what I'm going to do, let me just copy this line here. I'm copy that, and then I'm put it in here. Okay, right here. Okay, like this. And then I have here another function. I'm gonna copy this. And this one, we're going to do that. Okay. Yeah, we pass here and we pass here the handler. Okay. And let me explain you that, guys. Okay. I'm gonna pass here the off guards, and I'm gonna create another function. Let me check here. We got this, and now I'm going to copy that. Okay, and we're going to create another function here. We're gonna name it secure endpoint. Okay, and we're gonna pass this code and pass here secure endpoint. Okay, like this, and in here we got an error. Yeah, I'm going to import the type here. I'm gonna import it to remove this typing error. Okay, yeah, we pass here. Should be the event for the H3 event. Okay, like this, and we pass here this to check if the user is authenticated. And now we're going to head into the file right here into the secure endpoint file, and we are going to import in the line here. Okay, pass here this, yeah, we pass here the handler. Okay, secure endpoints, and we're going to return this. And before that, I'm going to call right here this array. I'm pass here this function and name it off guards. Okay, like this, and then we're gonna pass here the h3 event. Okay, now let's import it. Okay, we don't need to import it. They're gonna import it automatically. And now we're going to head into this endpoints, and then we're gonna pass here this secure endpoints. Okay, now let's import that here, secure endpoints, and then they're gonna secure that endpoint. Okay, and if a user is not logged in, we are going to retain the message right here. Okay, we're gonna return status code 401 status message unauthorized. Okay, now let me try to read that endpoint again. I'm tap inner. You can see actually we got here off guards is not defined. Okay, we are going to get into the secure endpoints, and we're going to import a function. Okay, secure endpoints. Okay, off guards. Okay, let me head into in here. I just export a function like this, copy this function, and I'm going to get rid of this file, and I'm going to pass it in here. Okay, like this, and then we're going to export this one. Okay, now let's try this again. Yeah, we got it again. The return statement doesn't stop the execution. Pass here return, and then we're gonna pass it send redirect. Okay, like this. We're gonna pass it the events. Okay, the events like this, and then the page where we want to be redirected. And I'm pass here off. We're gonna pass here off / yeah, sign in. I'm pass here sign in like this. Okay, you can see this is documentation here. And if you want to move to a particular page, we can pass here send redirect, and we're gonna pass it the event and the link here where we want to go. Okay, and I'm gonna pass the status. Okay, I can just do that. And now let's try it again. Okay, now I'm gonna move here. I'm tap inner, and then let's check if they're gonna redirect us on the login page. Okay, and yeah, there we go. You're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna move on the login page. Okay, yeah, we move to the login page. It works pretty well, guys. Okay, now we are able to secure all our endpoints. Now what I'm going to do, we are going to go back into these endpoints, and then we can copy secure endpoints function, and then we're gonna pass it in here too. Yeah, I'm gonna pass here define event handler. Okay, let me copy this one. Okay, for the categories, we don't need to secure that endpoint because we use it on the front end. I'm pass here define event handler, but for the updates, I'm gonna secure that endpoint. I'm pass here secure endpoint function. Okay, yeah, I'm pass here secure, and then I'm pass the endpoint. I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna pass it into the create. Here, we're gonna secure that. And for courses and other endpoints, guys, you're gonna do that. Now, I see you in the next video where we're gonna start building our AI assistants. I see you there, guys. That's pretty much it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I see you in the next video.